Episode 139 of the Wilderness Podcast is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Support the show at patreon.com/The Wilderness Podcast. Our supporter of the week is Joseph Pker. We are also brought to you by Audible. Get a free month and a free audiobook at audibletrial.com/wild. Quick note, this offer is only through audible.com. So if you're in Canada and you plan on unsubscribing at some point in the future, make sure you do it through .com, as .ca is a separate Audible account. All right, enjoy the episode. Welcome to episode 139 of the Wilderness Podcast. I'm your host, Dilz, and with me is Deegan.
Hey, how's it going?
So as often as we get weeks where there's nothing much that happens, it seems like the opposite is happening now, at least. So we got the Forthos Dungeon added into the game, a little update on RuneFest, an update on partnerships, and the microtransaction scare that happened last episode. The Golden Gnomes award announcement, so your chance to nominate who you think should win for each category. Small game improvements, and last man standing plus other stuff. So lots of fun stuff there. But before we get into that, as always, Deegan, anything exciting happen?
Not really.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing worth mentioning. I still haven't played RuneScape in a little bit.
A little bit of a dry spell for the RuneScape, eh?
Yeah. I just have to set up my PC and stuff still.
True.
I haven't really done that. Just been busy with real life stuff.
Nice.
Been off the computer a decent amount. Yeah. What about you?
See, I feel like I have been up to quite a bit. I guess first things first, I started an Iron Man, and I've been streaming my progress there. But I decided to go with a hardcore Iron Man, and so far I'm only playing in PvP worlds. It's been fun. It's been quite exciting. Yeah, it's a different dynamic. The gameplay's a lot slower than on a normal account, obviously, right? But I'm having to spend time so with this account, I'm trying to go through all the quests without I'm not going to go just grind out a bunch of fishing so I can use lobsters as food. I'm just trying to do quests, and then if I need food, I'll go make the best food that's available to me. So at level 3, it was bread. So I had to go make a bunch of bread, and that heals 5. That took quite a bit of time. And since I'm playing on a PvP world, I'm always trying to keep a bunch of food with me. And whenever I'm running low on food, I'll stop and have to spend half an hour making bread. It's a pain in the ass, but I've been having a lot of fun with it, actually. I'm trying to do all the quests without using a guide. So far, so good. So for now, I'm just going to be playing until I beat all the free-to-play quests, and then I'll go to members and then start from there. But yeah, it's been good. I got 7 hours played, and not a whole lot done. I have 15 quest points with my combat level still under 10, but it's fun. So yeah, if you are interested in watching, keep an eye out for the Dilz. That's my Twitch channel. But yeah, I've also been playing a bunch on my main account because I kind of realized that if I were to just end up boosting for my elite diaries, if you don't know, I've been on this elite diary grind for a while. If I decided to just boost, I could pretty much get them all done now. So I said, screw it, and decided to boost for some of them at least. I still have to get 1 level in fishing before I can boost that. And I got to get 5 levels in prayer. And then I got to get from 81 agility to 90 agility, I believe. Or maybe it's just 85.
Yeah, it'd be 85.
85, okay.
Yeah.
But thieving, I have to get it from 83 to 91. So that's going to be a pain in the ass, but it's not bad. I got my Lumbridge elites done. I got... I can't even remember. I think I got Falador done. I got Kramja done. I got quite a bit. And so I've been doing a little bit of Calfight Queen. I'm kind of taking a break from skilling itself because I've been getting bored and just wanted to play. Actually, I actually wanted to play RuneScape. Yeah, I've been doing the other... I got my quest cape. Had 2 quests to do there. I got... I've been doing Barbarian Assault a bunch because I got level 5s and everything. Been killing Calfight Queen to get the Calfight Queen head. So I'm kind of just bouncing around to a bunch of different things. But on top of that, I'm playing some of the new content that has come out, but we'll talk about that once we get there. And yeah, I think my Pure has just been fishing though.
Not bad.
I think that's everything summed up pretty fast. I know some of the guys in the clan chat were at Bandos one night. So within like 30, at least in that night, 2 pets dropped for the 4 of them.
Damn.
So that was crazy. I was like, so I decided I need to get on this Bandos run. I need to get myself a pet. So I jumped in there. Nothing exciting for me though. And I guess a quick shout out to Mr. Zeros in the clan chat who maxed his account last week. So I was there for that. I was playing at work, and then he was getting his last skill, which was Slayer. I don't know why. I don't know how Slayer becomes your last skill to get max out, but whatever. Mm-hmm. But so I was there to see him get his max cape and stuff. That was pretty sweet. So congrats to him.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. Yeah, I've just been getting that itch to play RuneScape and not actually skill. So trying to avoid that for now. But yeah, till then, play that Iron Man a bit. Play the main. Maybe I don't know. I'm not really playing the Pure. I'm just fishing on it, but. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm trying to think. I'm sure something else happened, but we'll probably talk about it when we start talking about the actual updates because there's a fair bit to go through. So shall we jump into it?
So starting off with the Forthos dungeon. So what is the Forthos dungeon? Well, it is a dungeon located in the Forthos ruin in Hasidius.
Nice.
Yep. They describe it as being ripe for exploration.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty true.
Yeah, there's some rooms in there that you can find that include the grubby chest, the library, the altar of the sun, and the sacrificial chamber.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore, little Easter eggs, and there is a mini quest.
Nice.
So the new mini quest is called In Search of Knowledge, and it's been added to the game. Once you heal Brother Amory, he will give you information about tattered tomes found in the dungeon library, and each of the tomes can be filled with 4 pages. And those pages are dropped by creatures within the dungeon. You can complete the mini quest by turning in all 3 completed tomes to the Arceus library, and you'll get 10k experience lamps, so 10,000 runecrafting experience.
Or agility.
Mm-hmm. The library will also reward you with 1k for any spare pages you may find in the dungeon.
Sweet.
There's also a new mid-level boss aimed for people who are about level 100 combat named Syrachnus. So defeating Syrachnus poses many challenges. She has a high resistance to range and magic attack and will leech some of your health for her own. If you're able to defeat her, you may be able to get your hands on one of her unique drops, including a giant egg sac and Syrachnus's cudgel, depending on how you want to pronounce that.
Yeah, it's a new blunt weapon.
Yep.
Seems to be like, if you were making an account and you didn't want to do any quests, it's the new one-handed weapon to go to instead of Dragon Scimitar. So you could use that now instead.
It's better than the Granite Hammer?
You know what? That's a good question. Yeah, it seems better. 56 for the Granite Hammer, and this one has 70 for strength bonus.
What about accuracy and attack rate?
So 70 crush, and the Granite Hammer is 57, and they both have the same attack speed.
Not
so
bad.
1.7 mil for the cudgel.
So to my understanding, this wasn't pulled, was it?
No, it wasn't. So that's interesting. There's actually 2 uniques in this cave, and neither of them were actually pulled.
So how do you feel about that?
So I guess the only issue I have with it is that they're starting to pull less and less. They're more okay with not pulling things now, right? We see those with the game integrity, but we're starting to see where like they pulled the free-to-play teleblock like 3 times and it failed every time. Even though I do think it should have passed, they decided to just throw it in anyways, which is it's questionable, right? So this is kind of similar, especially that we have a new weapon that's actually useful.
Well, I guess technically it's a new best in slot for
one-handed crush, right?
Yeah. For like pures and stuff and low levels. Pretty sure it's better. I think you get better DPS than a Warhammer.
Yeah, you might get better DPS. The Dragon Warhammer does have better stats.
For those like sand crab prods,
yeah,
you'll be seeing a new weapon.
So it is stronger than a Dragon Scimitar 2, But it's 70 crush versus 67 slash.
And sand crabs are weak to crush.
Are they? Yeah. True.
I'm pretty sure you can double check that.
Oh, they're weak to everything. Right. That's why people train on them, isn't it?
So that kind of worries me. They kind of just put in like a new best in slot one-hander for pures at least, and low level.
Yeah, like you do need 65 attack, but yeah, it's
you need 65 attack for it?
Yeah, you need 65 attack. Okay. So that's the only my only issue with it was that they didn't pull it, even though I think the item is I don't have no problem with the item being in the game. It just makes me wonder, like, would they do this again to something more questionable?
Yeah.
Luckily, like, this whole update was a great update, and I don't really see anything wrong with anything about it.
But they are just kind of putting things in the game now.
Yeah. Which...
Year 7?
Yeah, year 7. I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, at the same time, like that's the problem. Like, do I trust them enough to be able to come out with updates without... Like, could they do away with the whole polling system at this point?
No.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't have... I feel like they don't... They make mistakes quite a bit, right? They'll add in something to not realize on the grand scheme of things how bad something might be for something.
Well, they'll add things and then the community will pass on it and it's not good for the game. It just kind of happens. But like, was it necessary to like slip this in? Because to my understanding, Sarachnis also drops a pet.
Yep, does drop a pet.
So there is a reason to camp the boss, and like it's probably super easy to kill.
It's fairly easy. It's a mid-level boss, and I do see why they would want to add a unique, because even the day one when it was happening, you were fighting over the boss with like 3 other people. So like, I expected way more people to be trying to kill the boss, but it was only 3 people. That I'd be one of them. It's like you versus 2 others to get the kill, and you go there today, it's gonna be empty. Like, most worlds are probably not gonna have someone killing it.
Yeah, I don't know. It does worry me that like they're adding stuff without polling, but whatever.
Could snowball, but yeah, we'll have to. Well, like that's the problem. Is like this one here. It's like it's a good update. The item is decent. It's not game breaking or anything, but yeah, will this be a new trend that we see?
Mm-hmm. So the person that's responsible for that for that ordeal and update was Mod Husky, and I mean, I guess it's been well received.
Yeah,
minus like there was some backlash for the weapon being put in, but
not enough back. There was really not that much.
Yeah, he put a lot of lore, a lot of Easter eggs, like a lot of time into this dungeon. We've talked about like everything that was in the dungeon in like previous episodes, the grubby chest and how everything interacts.
Mm-hmm.
Could have even been like last episode.
No, I think it was a few episodes ago, because I didn't even realize this was coming out, and then I decided to go check it out, and the dungeon's cool. When we first talked about it being designed, remember we talked about it looking like a D&D map?
Yep.
And when you play it, it really feels like a D&D map. Mm-hmm. We get to areas that split off, and you're like, what happens if I go this way? And it makes you actually want to explore. Then you have the mini quest, and what's cool about the mini quest, you get to a spot where you have 2 options that will have different results. The end reward's the same, but yeah, when you're doing the mini quest, you talk to this guy and he's like kind of losing his mind. You can either 1, give him a bunch of gems, or 2, kill him.
Yeah.
Or at least try to kill him. So you have 2 choices, and it's kind of like whatever you choose is what path you'll take to finish the actual mini quest.
Yep.
But there's like a broken altar at one part that you can actually repair. I don't remember. I haven't figured out how to do it yet, but I know you're able to. If you go on the wiki, you'll find someone you don't need to do it, but it's more of like an Easter egg. It's a Dark Souls Easter egg. Praise the sun thing. I don't play the game, but I know that some sort of meme there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have these undead chaos druids, so they have these red spiders. I forget what they're called, but they have the red spiders, and then they have these undead chaos druids that have a pretty fair drop table. It's nothing that you'd want to camp for money, but like a lower level who stumbles in there might be like, hey, I could kill this for some money if they weren't actively looking on the wiki to see what's the best thing to kill for money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gives alternatives for Slayer, and Kona are going to sign some of these guys
right
as a task.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. The undead druids will drop an item called the Mask of Renul, another item that wasn't pulled, but this one, it has the same stats as a wizard hat. It just looks kind of creepy, I guess. It sells for like 25,000, so it's like pretty cheap. Might be good for some fashionscape. It kind of looks like if the black mask had like an ornate decoration. What do you call that? An ornate kit?
Yeah.
It feels like this is what it might look like.
Or like the Mask of Balance, the sunflower face.
Yeah,
like the counterpart to it.
It's pretty interesting. If you see the undead druids, it's the exact same mask they're wearing. Yeah, the whole thing is pretty cool. Mod Husky there's like a little bridge area right outside of it that's broken. You can't actually travel on the bridge, but he had his character there watching as people were going to test out the dungeon. So he was like, you can tell he was pretty. I don't know who Mod Husky is. I think he's from RuneScape 3, but that's why we have the unpulled items.
Yeah.
Shit, he doesn't know how
it
works.
Oh, we're supposed to we pull stuff here? Oh.
Shit, this quest gives you treasure hunter keys.
Okay, we're going to have to disable grubby chests for a bit. You need bonds to open it.
Yeah. But he was pretty excited to see people trying out the content he designed, right? So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I do get a very heavy Dungeons and Dragons vibe from it.
Yeah, I think he like DMs or he plays D&D at least.
Are you just guessing from this content?
No, I read or he said that somewhere, either on Twitter or Reddit.
Okay, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Little side note on Sarachnis. So he went in with the idea when he made Sarachnis as like a boss that isn't Zulrah, like Vorkath or Raids.
Yeah.
And like a boss to segue you into like certain mechanics. And he talks about, how the two different PVM mechanics typically are changing gear and attack styles or changing prayers. And like this boss will focus on the prayer switching aspect without making it too tedious or
cool.
overly punishing. It was supposed to be an instance boss, but he changed it because he wants people to be able to kill the boss with their friends.
So yeah, that's another thing that I noticed that was, it's like a trend that RuneScape started going, and this kind of broke the trend. Instance bosses.
Yeah.
So this is the first boss since Corp, I think. Raiding, right? I guess you could consider raiding, but no, not even. Raiding's all instance. It's just party instanced.
Yep.
But this is the first boss since Corp that you can do like a big mass with people. Randoms and everything. You can get crashed, basically.
And people were complaining.
They were complaining, really?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was nice. Like, I was like, it's one thing I'm getting sick of is all these instant bosses where they're meant to be soloed, and I'm really happy this is another boss that you could go in and, when I say crash or get crashed, but what I really mean, it's like that type of boss where you can have your friends join. It's like bandos, you know what I mean? Do a bandos night. How many people? However many want to do it. It doesn't matter. Well, it's not like raiding where you can't really say that because now it's going to scale up.
Yeah.
But this one you could bring some friends along, all just like jump in and kill it together.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of these bosses because that's like the RuneScape I enjoy, right?
Yeah. I guess moving on though. So I guess overall, good update. Yeah.
It was fun. It's I guess it's a lower level, so I'm not gonna be doing it too much. But you get in there and do that mini quest, and you'll probably have some fun. It brings you back to how RuneScape was. Like you really get that feeling of when you were younger and adventuring, right?
Yep.
It's not super linear.
Mm-hmm. So I guess next up is splashing in Lumbridge.
Yeah.
So they've designed a cutout area of where they want to make splashing not really possible.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what splashing is, it's like a extremely AFK magic training method that you get low experience, but you can AFK for like 15 minutes at a time.
I think it's even up to half an hour.
Yeah, and it's pretty popular, as you can tell when you first log in and you load up and leave Lumbridge. Like everywhere you go, you see people splashing there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the go-to area due to like a lot of like the level 1 rats, the
Yeah.
chickens, the cows, all that stuff. Frogs even. They have
Okay,
higher
yeah.
defense. Yeah.
So it's like they kind of chose a lazy way of doing it. They wanted a quick method to make it so when a new player comes into the game, they're not seeing a bunch of people splashing. So yeah, they just decided to choose some area and it's like, no, now you can't splash here anymore. So it's kind of weird. You know that issue we have with like mechanics work like this in PvP, but they work like this in PvE or PvM. It's like that approach, but mechanics work like this in Lumbridge, but work like this outside of Lumbridge.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of weird to see a bunch of people just standing around in like certain armors to bring them down to like negatives, 65 or something.
Yeah.
Magic, and then they just get free experience.
So yeah, you don't get experience from casting a spell now, right?
Yeah. Just in the Lumbridge area, though.
So, do you think it's better for a new player to jump into Lumbridge and now see those people gone, or would it be better to have? Because like I don't think anyone's training on those rats, right? Do you think it like adds a different flavor to the game where someone comes in and it's like, oh, it looks much more populated, even though these people are AFKing, or is that a bad like precedent to? Hey, you're a new player, and this is RuneScape.
It kind of depends on who the player is, because someone might be like, what are they doing? Oh, they're splashing. What's that? This is like, super AFK, free magic experience. And you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then they just kind of quickly learn about a concept.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, if they want to like level up, but not, you know what I mean? They can just start splashing too if they want once they get the money.
Yeah.
Or they realize they need money, so now they have to figure out how to make it to splash. So it could actually set a goal for certain players very quickly on. It's going to be this weird thing where someone goes, why can't I splash in Lumbridge anymore? Or like, you know what I mean? Like someone's going to log in, start splashing and be like, what the hell? Or someone will just try it and like, it'll be one of those things that like, you can do, or like, like a mechanic that's not going to be explained, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be this weird thing that they have.
A lot of people this is fresh in people's mind. This is a new dev blog, but a couple months from now, we're all going to forget exactly. And there's probably going to be someone who's like bumps into someone at Falador who's splashing. And he goes, I want to try that. And then he's in Lumbridge. He's not choosing Lumbridge, but he's just like, I'm in Lumbridge. I'm just going to AFK here. And then next thing you know, he's like, what the fuck? Why am I not getting any experience? Mm-hmm. Oh, because Jagex decided to draw this line around Lumbridge saying you can't have this happening here just because.
Or what if you're just like airstrike or wind striking chickens? You're a noob, right?
Yeah.
And then you splash. Like you're actually just trying to kill them. You don't really know what you're doing.
Now you're losing experience for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I know free to play, it can be problematic seeing everyone splashing and whatnot. But as a whole, I don't know why people complain about this.
It looks silly, but I tried to do it on my Pure, and the experience is so slow that I was like, this is dumb. This is not worth the time.
It's supposed to just be AFK.
Yeah. It's great, but like I think you could get you would get more experience from like AFKing something else. The good thing about that is that you can AFK at level 1. But like you could AFK fishing for slightly less time, I guess. But you'd be able to spend the money you made from that.
Way less time.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
It's very different.
But I know I did on my Pure, and I was like, this is the worst. This is bad.
Well, yeah, it's bad experience.
You get like 1K experience an hour. You're like, this
are you
is
wind
fucked.
striking?
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to be like firebolting and stuff.
Well, it depends. It's like you do how much money you have, but if you see people doing all different types depending on what exactly their budget is. But regardless, it's like bad experience.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
And expensive.
Not really.
Well, it's not. It can be expensive. If you're trying to actually grind out a fair bit of levels, you're going to be dropping a bunch of money if you're only focusing on splashing.
You can say the same for like barraging,
but it's
or
fast
like
experience. Yeah, it's yeah. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I never really care that. I don't think it's that big of a problem. If people want to do it, go ahead. But there's gonna be plenty of people who are like, no, I'm not doing this. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's such slow experience. It's not worth the time.
Yeah. Like, well, training magic was always supposed to be expensive. We just found ways to like alch. You know what I mean? Like alching became meta because you can train magic and like make a little money or like go even. Same thing with like, the bowstring and the amulets, it's like it's a lot cheaper, but like magic was intended to be like pretty expensive to use. Like
it's like a utility skill too, right?
Yeah, well, on my free to play account, I've been like I trained magic by killing fire giants. Half the bones, the big bones that I kept, would go back. Like half the money I made was back, like literally was back into supplies. Like it's expensive, but it's fast in comparison and it's like pretty good. So splashing, obviously, it's bad experience. Yeah, it's super AFK. I don't know. I think it's weird that they kind of cut out a sec, because like all it's gonna do is just push people to like another part of the map to splash.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna do, and I think that they don't care enough to prevent splashing from being a thing. They just don't want new players to see it. But now you have all these weird rules that aren't consistent, which is like it's fine for us because we read the dev blogs, but we forget. And there's gonna be new players who don't. Why is it like this? Well, they just don't want new players to see it. Oh, that's the only reason? That seems weird.
Yeah,
but okay, whatever.
So you might as well just take it out of the game.
So why don't you take all the rats out of Lumbridge? Okay, that's a bad idea. It's kind of cool to see the rats, but you could even have it so like, oh, you splash, 10, 15, 20 times in a row, then the rat's going to run away. It's going to stop attacking you, which means then the 5-minute timer starts. After 5 minutes, your guy logs, right?
Yep.
So, whatever.
But yeah, moving on. RuneFest tickets now available.
Cool.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
They have a 200 LAN party room.
Yep.
They also have a Song of the Elves released to drop July 25th. Yeah, if you're interested in any of the contests, you can listen to last episode, I think it was, where we went through all of them.
All right, up next is the partnership part 2.
Yeah.
It's been canceled.
Yep.
Congrats, guys. Everyone freaked out.
We did it.
Yeah. I still have yet to see any alternative ideas that are realistic or...
Well, we did get 2 suggestions that we can dive into afterwards. I don't like the way they worded it. There seems to be some sort of disconnect. It seems kind of sketchy.
Well, the issues how they worded it in the first place were like, we talked about it last episode, but no matter what, the way like the partnership was going to be rolled out, they were like, oh, okay, you guys don't want free stuff given to you. You guys want to like obtain it yourself? Well, you'll have the option, which is like either, it's now considered quote unquote microtransactions. You get free stuff, limited time, and then you have to pay for it. Or now you enter these codes and you get like free house skins and tellies and character skins. Cosmetics.
Going to Twitch to activate and get free cosmetics is not the way to do it, I don't think. And clearly everyone else believes the same way, but like I don't work in marketing, but I'm sure there's ways to figure out what kind of partnerships you can do that benefits both Jagex and benefits, whatever other company. You have a PvP tournament, I'm sure you could find a way to get that partnership incorporated into your tournament.
Like what, like health insurance companies being
but the
you
thing
died, but this is a safe area thanks to Geico. I don't know, they're not health insurance,
car insurance, close. But
you know what I mean? Oh yeah,
you got to think though. Like,
I don't know any health insurance companies. I'm Canadian.
You got to think though. If they want to bring in new players, where's that demographic? It's going to be younger kids who don't know what RuneScape is, or people in like big gaming markets that aren't in North America, or I would say like
Europe.
Yeah, quite a bit of Europe. You know what I mean? Like China, it would be a big market, or Japan,
Korea.
But the thing is, I don't think this type of game gets popular over there, right? There's
Nope.
different gaming cultures, and RuneScape is a very hate it or love it type of game. You know, we joke about it all the time because we can understand that this game is very flawed, and most people aren't a fan of it.
Well, like I think the game would have potential in like Korea because I know microtransactions are like actually no, I take that back. It's the exact opposite. They're okay with microtransactions within the game. They hate buying gold, like gold farming and stuff. In like those games don't really exist. Like gold farming companies won't target like Korean or like Japanese or Chinese MMOs, to my understanding, because no one partakes in it.
Yeah.
It's a very North American thing to like buy gold for a video game.
I just couldn't like see this game being big in like South Korea. You know what I mean? Like the stereotype is like StarCraft and stuff, right? If it's them being big into those type of games, I just don't see.
Well, for MMOs, they love super grindy, infinite content with lots of RNG, but the gear is based like Black Desert Online and stuff. You know, those games are huge. Like MapleStory,
right?
Like,
fair enough.
The RNG comes from like you're throwing dice at like your equipment, and then it just gets destroyed, and you're like, oh. There's like 80 mil down the drain because I got unlucky.
Yeah.
That's where the addiction is.
And also, they're fast-paced, right?
Yeah.
I feel like RuneScape's at a big disadvantage when marketing is like the graphics and the tick system. The graphics are going to give someone a first impression and be like, this game doesn't look appealing. Once you get into it, you can really start to love it, right? It's got a very retro style almost.
Yeah.
But then the tick system is also very clunky, where like a new player playing it might be like, the fuck is this? Like, how am I supposed to do anything on this? I click and wait. That's all this tick system allows me to do. There's so much more to it, but a lot of people will they'll decide they don't like this type of game before they get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like, partnerships might help grow the game, but they're thinking on a very shallow level that like, we'll just get partnerships with this and boom. It's like, no, there's so much more to it, right?
Well, yeah, let's hear some suggestions, though. Like, Jagex just talks about how they're disappointed in us. And, like, I don't know. They worded it carefully, being like, everything we said was true. But then if you, like, look at what they said, it was, like, in the previous polls, it's like, that's the issue.
That's their intentions. I'm sure it is, but they don't. It's like they don't understand. Like I said, I don't work for marketing, and I could be completely wrong, but I really don't see. I don't think they have that strong as a game plan as they have. Their game plan is just like, well, if we partner up more with Twitch, give cosmetics, we'll bring in more people. No, not necessarily true.
Well, like, yeah, we know that. Like, the point I'm making is like, they said, like, they would say things like, we get it. You guys just don't want like free, obtainable, easy content. So we'll allow you to obtain it in like an honorable way afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how they would phrase things, where it's like, oh, okay, so this is technically a microtransaction because like you just do your Twitch Prime stuff, you get it.
Yeah.
And then once the deal is over, you have to grind for it if you never got it.
Yeah. So here's one of the paragraphs they say that everything we say in the blog was true. If it passed the poll, it would have been added to a backlog of content. We wouldn't have added all right away. It just would have been there for when we needed it. There would be no surprises whenever a partnership was approaching, and you know exactly what to expect. If the content would have passed, it would not have led to invasive forms of advertising or monetization, but would have enabled us to do things for our players with partnerships such as Twitch and Discord. So people are like, love Twitch. I love Discord. We both use those platforms all the time. The last thing I want to do is have to sign up for a Discord Nitro just to grab myself some cosmetics. Right? So it's just like, no, this is the problem that we're talking about. We don't care that you're partnering with a company that I already enjoy. They're not going to have it where it's just like, join the RuneScape Discord and you'll get the cosmetics. It'd probably be through signing up for their paid subscription on Discord, right? The content we choose, we did as a result of extensive focus group testing. We heard loud and clear that the old school community would not accept the likes of buyable resources wealth, or experience. We heard that you would not accept any additions which were either exclusive through purchasing or partnership, nor would you accept anything that would have been discontinued. So again, they're like very base level about this, and it just seems like they're salty that it didn't pass. That's how I read it.
They're base level because like they're like, yeah, you guys don't want things given for you or locked. Or given to you or locked behind once like the partnership's over. So what does that mean? You have to grind for it. That's like the point I'm making is that.
Well, like read this here, and this is where I feel like a disconnect on whoever wrote this. We heard that you wear your cosmetic accomplishments with a feeling of pride. That's why we promised that the content we offered would become freely available to all players once the partnership ended. Like that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to wear this thing with pride if I can get it for free with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it makes no sense. We are disappointed that the reception to the blog was focused around monetization in the game, something that is not in any of our plans, although we can understand your trepidation. It's not even just that. It's more of like, sure, most people have Amazon Prime and therefore they have Twitch Prime, but for the people who don't, there's probably people who live in an area that Amazon Prime, it just isn't a feasible thing to have, right?
Well, you can get like a free month.
Okay, well, you get a free month, and then next thing you know, you get sniped on something like, I'm mentioning this in the intro, so you're going to hear this the second time, but with Audible, I had signed up for the free month. Turns out audible.ca and audible.com are two different things. I thought I was signed up through audible.ca, but since I use the free membership, it's automatically through .com. So every time I went to Audible, it redirected me to .ca, the Canadian site, which showed me I wasn't subscribed. So I was like, perfect. I ended my membership like I planned to. Well, then I realized today that I've been paying for it for the past 6 months. Luckily, I called Audible and their customer service was great, and they refunded me all the money and all that stuff, and everything's taken care of. But that's what Amazon Prime is hoping for with the free membership, right? Either you try it and you like it, and now you're paying all the time, or you try it and you forget about it. Happens all the time. It's why there's like new apps and programs out that will track everything you're paying for and tell you all your monthly payments. By the way, those things are probably just selling your data or your information about what you're subscribed to. But point is, like, it's such a problem paying all these monthly fees. You know, I have the Adobe Creative Suite for school. You used to be able to buy the programs outright. Now it's a monthly fee. It's like $20. It's like $30 for me a month. That's with the student discount, right? So it's stuff like that where it's like, yeah, they're disappointed that we are all focused on microtransactions, but is that not? Could you argue that that's the same thing as a microtransaction? If I have to pay for Twitch Prime to get free access to this item, is that like kind of similar to having a shop that I could buy the skin for $5?
It would be only if you have to like obtain or grind for the content without. It's like it's either Twitch Prime or grind / pay for it. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like Twitch Prime to get it on week 1, or you type in a code on week 2 and you get it.
Yeah.
That's when it's not considered a microtransaction, but the community didn't want that. They didn't want to type in a code and get it. So like, we hear you loud and clear, and that's why I keep bringing up where it would be a microtransaction because they heard us loud and clear. We don't want to type a code and get it for free. So the only alternative is you're gonna have to grind for it, which now it is a microtransaction.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point I was trying to make with that.
So they're getting near the end of this dev blog. They said, it should be known that partnership is not a catch-all term. There are many types of commercial partnership opportunities, as well as the ones suggested in the poll, that we've partnered in the past with the likes of Apple and Google, who were pivotal in helping us bring Oldschool Mobile to all of you in October last year. So I guess I'm a little bit more ignorant on this one, but I'm having a hard time seeing how this was an exact partnership. It might have been.
Well, with like mobile and it being on the App Store?
Is that the only partnership? It's like, hey, we'll let you put it on here on the App Store. In return, what? People have to use Android or Apple phones to play it? Or maybe they get a cut of the bonds if you pay through the mobile store. Maybe that's the partnership.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So, okay, that makes a bit more sense. But still, like, I mean, for people playing mobile, they're probably paying a bit more for bonds then. Or Jagex is taking a cut. I mean, taking a hit on the bonds that they're selling. So yeah, you'd expect more of Google and Apple versus Walmart or Pepsi. But again, you're choosing two extremes, right? Like, of course, we don't think you're going to partner with Walmart. What, is every Walmart going to walk in and fucking have RuneScape playing on all the TV screens? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
RuneScape Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
grind.
Yeah. And Doritos. While we do believe that partnerships can be used for the growth of old school RuneScape, we're going to work with you to see what you would be happy with. Again, we welcome your feedback on this, and rest assured, no in-game content for partnerships will be added without a poll. So yeah, I don't know. I hope it's not something we saw with the Teleblock, even though, like I said, I thought that free-to-play Teleblock should have been a thing, but they pulled it 3 or 4 times. That's the last thing I want them to do with this content. For the cosmetics is just keep pulling it every couple months, seeing if the player base has changed. Kudos to the community. You know, we all band together when we need to, and the polls did so bad they took them down like after 2 days, being like, okay, there's no point.
Yeah.
They got hammered on. And because I was always worried that they might do decent in the polls. But I'm glad to see that they did so bad that we don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think if there's a way to do partnerships, then there's definitely ways to do it where it doesn't have to be through cosmetics. If anything, cosmetics was probably seems like the laziest way of doing it. But whatever.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Gold Gnome nominations.
Woo woo.
Yep. Nominations close on July the 16th. So they'll be closed by the time you hear this. So this is the process. Nominations open, then they close on the 16th. They're shortlisted by GGA panel.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. The nominee shortlist is announced to the community. Players vote from a shortlisted nominees on the 26th. Voting closes by August 1st. Winner votes reviewed by GGA panel, i.e. vote manipulation checks.
So this can't be right, but global governance advisors?
Winners announced at the Golden Gnome Awards at RuneFest on October 4th. So, here are some of the awards. Starting off with video, we got Best New RuneScape Video Maker and Old School Video Maker. We have Best RuneScape Video Maker and Old School Video Maker.
So yeah, one's new, as in new since the last RuneFest.
Yeah.
One's current.
RuneScape Video of the Year and Old School RuneScape Video of the Year. For streaming, we have the Best New RuneScape and Old School streamers, and we have just the best overall.
Yeah, same idea. Best new.
For RS3 and OSRS. And then art awards. Best New RuneScape Artist and New Old School, and we have Best Artistic Creation and Best Artist.
Curious about the videos, because I mean, it's pretty obvious. Settled came out and has blown everyone away with his video series.
Yeah.
On Swampletics. Do you think it's fair if he wins for multiple categories with the same series? Or do you think they should have it spread out a bit, where if you win in one series, it's not fair for you to also win in the second? Like, do you think he should be able to win Best New Old School RuneScape Video Maker as well as Best Old School RuneScape Video Maker?
Well, he's not a new video maker.
Okay, fair enough. Well, do you think he should be Best RuneScape Video Maker as well as the Best Video of the Year?
If he has the Best Video of the Year and he's also the best video maker in general, yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
There are better videos made than Swampletics, though.
What would you say?
What's his name?
What's your nomination?
I nominate to be tribute. No,
me.
There was that animation. Actually, ironically, it's about Swampletics.
Right.
But it's like,
yes.
This guy does this crazy animation about how, like, the Swampletics is scripted.
It's exposed,
But, like, it's like Swampletics exposed, but it's, like, super well done. A lot of handcrafted animations. Like, just, like, within the video, like, he did, like, a lot of, like, work himself, and, like, it's super well done, I can see that winning easily.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's meta, but like it was a very well done video. But when it comes to like videos of the year, like there's a ton of great ones. Like Swampletics was kind of like memed on how good it was. Like it's really like it's a really good series, but like there are better like standalone videos than just like what Swampletics episode 4.
I've been enjoying a lot of like the Lower the Better series.
Yeah, even like 25 Buttholes is a lot of like funny videos.
Yeah, that's true.
The way he does it, where like there's like a lot of good people. Even like OSRS Mauler OSRS has like really neat videos where he goes over the top to create like the best like one defense peer or sorry, not one defense peer, the best like defense peer, and he'll like do all these crazy. It's kind of similar to the Lower the Better type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where he gets all these crazy items that are super hard to get. He had an account that like had one defense and rune gloves. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
You're like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of like really good video makers. So I don't think it would like one person will dominate.
Okay. No, it'd just be interesting to see because a lot of it seems like the content has been pushed this year. Like it hit a new standard.
Yeah. 100%.
So many great series. Like beforehand, you had series like A Friend and stuff, which were good, but no editing, right?
I mean, you see a friend posted like new videos. He took a hiatus. He came back and he's like, at least last time I checked, he had like a couple days and he took like a huge hit because they're like the quality, the standards have gone up. No one cares about like a dude logging in and world hopping and then killing a boss 8 times. And then
even with like, I know Bodhi has his YouTube channel, who's a very probably the most popular streamer, but it's just clips from his stream, right? Kind of smashed together. And I watched those when it was a bit of when there wasn't too many content creators that were worth watching in
quality content
creators. But now it's there's tons of awesome ones to watch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, production has gone up. Some of these people might need to just start hiring editors at this point.
Yeah, but then it's a whole nother issue, right?
Not really.
Could be.
Well, what would the issue be? Like, let's say someone like Bodhi, who...
Oh, okay, never mind. I see what you're saying. Never mind. I thought you meant like Swampletics he needs to push out more videos, so now he's hiring his own video editors.
Yeah,
but
what's wrong with that?
Well, then you're not gonna be. There's gonna be something different to it, right? It's not gonna have the same Swampletics feel,
and that would be bad for him specifically, so he doesn't. But I mean, he's gotten help on his videos before.
Hey, no, yeah, you get help and stuff, but you see with other like there's some like YouTube content creators who hire, and then the videos might not be bad now, but it's not the same as they were when they might have been the ones editing. It's like if we hired an editor for this podcast, there's going to be like a weird subtle change that you'll notice will happen. There's like one point the podcast had this feel, now it has this feel, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're hiring an editor, you're going to hire a good one that helps grow, right?
Yeah, but it's like when you have a band and suddenly a new person writes for the band. Sure, everything in that one band's the same, but it starts like Avenged Sevenfold used to be my favorite band of all times. The drummer wrote all the music for that band, all the music for them for the most part. He died. They got a new drummer who was still an amazing drummer, but now they had someone different writing the music. And I don't like any of their new stuff. It's completely different, right? I think the same idea with editing.
But like, if Bodhi had a completely different editing style, right now it's pretty bad. Like
exactly.
Like the whole point of like hiring an editor, like you're paying someone to grow your channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they're not growing your channel, you fire them.
Pretty much, yeah. But you get your subtle little touches with it. Like, I don't watch as many YouTubers now, but I used to watch iDubbbz. He started hiring an editor, and you could tell right away that the video was like, I thought it was shit. It was super like memey. So it depends on who you're hiring, right? Because you're gonna get that style. But anyways, unfortunately, no podcast category yet.
No, maybe next year.
Year 3 without one, but that's all right. We'll have our own the Wild Cup.
Yeah. And we'll somehow lose that.
Yeah. Make everyone vote somehow. It's just shit.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit to talk about here, but small game improvements. Okay.
Small, putting in quotes, right?
Yep. So these are all proposed. Nothing set in stone. They're just proposing these. Some of them they're proposing again, but...
And some of them won't be getting polls.
So the first one that wouldn't be... So this would not be polled, but it is proposed, and they just want our hot takes on it. A Granite Mall rework. So we've talked about this before in the past, but the Granite Mall currently uses 50% of its special attack to deal a damaging blow to a player while in PvP. And the main point of the spec is that you can use it both specs in the same tick. Mm-hmm. So you can hit someone and then hit them twice the Granite Mall. So you can get multiple hits in a single tick.
Yep.
The proposed change is to make the current Granite Mall use 60% of its special attack to keep it in line with other special attack PvP weapons, which doesn't make much sense. But we will then add a new item that can be attached to the mall, similar to a clamp, from the Bounty Hunter store reward shop for about 10 million Bounty Hunter points. This attachment, when added to the Granite Mall, will give it back the 50% special attack. It's always lost on death, and if PK'd, the Pker receives 1 million coins. So that gives you an idea of how much 10 million Bounty Hunter points is.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think? You for it? You against it?
It's weird.
Why?
1 mil is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
The main use a Granite Mall gets is in low combat brackets.
Yeah, that's where it's like the best.
And it's used in like PvP, like rushing, or like when I say PvP, I mean like the PvP worlds or like Edgeville, Bounty Hunter. If you're tribe raiding or deep wildy PKing and you're using a Granite Mall, that's not a good idea unless you're just like rushing with some buddies.
Yeah, most people have it that once they use the spec and it fails, they're like, okay, I can get the fuck out because you lose a lot of your KO potential.
Yeah. So to make it a 50% spec for pretty much like 1 mil, you're risking 1 mil if you're using this.
Yeah.
It opens up, it makes low level PKing fun because fighting Gmall pures at like for like 60 levels is pretty boring.
Yeah,
so
and
like,
they risk nothing. So you kill them, you get 25k. That's how much the G Mall's worth. And you play your Ollie Mauler, let's just say you're risking way more.
Yeah.
Like the Mauler itself, it's worth like what, 150k?
Yeah, maybe a bit more, but with the B neck, the B ring, like the Berserker ring and necklace, you're risking a lot more, especially how they took out like unscalled fights.
Yeah.
And I guess with the ham joint.
Oh, true.
Being like, a one-handed event RPG now.
Yeah, and that's almost 3 mil, 2.8. Yeah.
It does seem a little excessive, like having 1 mil. Because like, what's the alternative now? They're just gonna use darts and like a light ballista,
or you use the Granite Mall.
One spec of the Granite Mall.
Yeah. So I mean, I do like this because the Granite Mall I find is like very strong. You can combo it with anything, right?
Yeah.
Basically anything. You watch Torvesta or any other PKer, they'll have videos where they use an AGS and then switch to the Granite Mall for the spec.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like overkill for the most part.
Yeah, they use 2 different specs or a spec from each weapon.
Yeah, and it just like piles up and then they're fucked. So they could now they have one chance to double up on a hit, and then they have to wait, 30 seconds or whatever it is to get that 10% back, and then they could do it again, which I think is more fair. Because the problem is like with a Granite Mall, there's not much to counter with. You just overheat, eat, and just hope RNG is not on your side, or is on your side.
Mm-hmm.
But at least with this one, again, you could out eat the damage.
Yeah, I mean, they do, like, fighting against someone who's a Granite Mall is anti-fun.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's just like, you're full health and you're dead.
Yep.
So they do need to like change it. Like the downside is that like if it misses, well, the fight like they're gonna just tell you out in a couple seconds.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a no win for the person fighting the G Mauler.
Yeah. So something does need to be done. I'm surprised that like their proposed idea is 1 mil.
It is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't PK too much in general, but also low level brackets. Mainly because of all the Granimo peers.
Yeah, no, me too.
So deep down, like I'm trying to not be biased, but I would like to see all those peers leave. I'd prefer to get spec'd out by a Rambo DDS.
The good old days?
Yeah. Or like a nice stack from like anything else, really.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. The next item is the Bulwark rework. So when the Bulwark was released, it was looking to fill the niche in PVM to enhance a tanker's ability to help the team when group bossing. But as time goes on, it's clear the shield has very few limited uses outside of aiding in the wilderness. So that's not a problem, but in its current form, it gives players high invulnerability when combined with certain equipment or protection prayers. And they want to reduce all of its like defensive bonuses by 10.
Okay, what do you think of that?
That is dumb.
Is -10 that big of a change to it?
It's big enough.
Yeah?
This is what they're saying. Yeah, the DPS meta is so real in PVM that we're going to just make this less tanky. Because you only ever use it in PvP.
Yeah.
And you only ever use it while you're PVMing in PvP. Or I guess if you're tanking, like if you're like solo PKing and a team jumps you, you could bust this out and try and escape. But you only do that if you're risking mils already.
Yeah, because the thing's worth quite a bit, right?
It's worth 6 mil, but like if you're gonna be running away and have like a bulwark as like backup, you're going to probably be risking over 20 mil.
Yeah.
To like warrant the need to bring a bulwark. But now you're risking even more. And an inventory slot.
Yeah, I don't think it needed a nerf. I did think so I saw on the subreddit people just outrage about this. And I thought it was a way bigger change than what I saw with a -10. Which is still, the -10 to the magic especially. That's big.
That's like the biggest issue.
Yeah. But I thought that the way people were reacting, it was like way worse.
Well, because it's not that it's being nerfed by only -10, which like -10 magic is like a decent amount, but it's like the reason.
Yeah.
And, like, so if you're ever in tank gear, like you're in like, let's say you're wearing like Carol top bottom, you have a Nadazon helmet, a Glory, Din's Bulwark, you're doing Prayer, you're doing Black Chins. Or let's say you have your Verax and then you have a tank switch with the Bulwark, right?
Yeah.
And you're killing like Venenatus. You're not looking to fight someone in the wilderness. You're looking at PVM or skill in the wilderness. And if you're doing that, you're not looking to fight in the wilderness. Why are you bringing PvP gear, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to bring tank gear. And if some dude jumps on you wearing Mystics or like Salads, and they splash, that sucks, but like, we're better gear.
Yeah.
You could.
So the only thing is though,
for other PKers.
Yeah. This is the tricky part though. It's like, I
look for people doing riskier content.
I don't think they should nerf it because you should be able to bring the bulwark and have a huge advantage of being able to defend yourself. But maybe instead of doing that, look at buffing Arums. The accuracy on it, right? At the same time, I can totally get where, like, should there be an item that's you have this item, now you will never get PK'd? That's the tricky part, right?
With that exact, like, gear setup, I've never been PK doing Black Chins, but I've, like, almost gotten, like, comboed out.
Yeah?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's RS, so it's all RNG. Like, even though I have Protect from Magic, this dude bops me with, like, a good enough freeze and then like hits like a 70 plus with an AGS, and you're like, oh shit, like, ouch. And it's all RNG, but like, they're attacking someone that they know won't fight back, and they're just gonna run. If they escape, then why are they mad about that? Like, they're kind of like...
Yeah, I don't think they should reduce the... They don't need to nerf the bulwark, but maybe it just comes down to buffing Arums. Not magic entirely, but something where you don't want Arums to work every time, but you also don't want to splash 90% of the time either, right? So maybe balance it a bit more by making Arums have a little bit more accuracy, since it is worth like 3 mil or something.
So like, do you think if I'm wearing the best mage defense gear that I can, while I have Protect from Magic up, you should still have a good chance of catching freezes on me?
No, not a good chance, but it shouldn't be like impossible to land a freeze, right?
Well, so if I'm wearing like, 8 mil or like 9 mil worth of gear for tanking, I'm not, like, keep in mind, I'm not sculling though, because I don't want to fight. Like, the whole thing is that there's no risk in fighting these dudes unless they're luring, and then they're gonna just swap off the gear.
But I just think the inherent risk should be that you chose to go into the wilderness. So like, you shouldn't have... I don't know how I feel about having any gear that would prevent someone from getting you. If you're going to the wilderness, there should always be some sort of risk, regardless of the gear you have. And even if the gear can give you an advantage, but if it gives you like 90% of the times, like I'm not even gonna get scratched, right?
The 90%, like that, they're like, that's not the case though.
So it dropped a bunch. So 6.5 mil. So it is worth a fair bit. I don't like, that's the thing. It's a hard thing to balance. I don't think the thing to do is to nerf the bulwark though. If they truly think that it's a problem, that it's too strong, maybe it's not that it's too strong. It's that some mage gear is too weak, right? Like, you shouldn't have to bring Ancestral to be able to land a hit on it.
But like, the majority of these people that are complaining aren't bringing Arums. They're not bringing like comparable risk. And the whole thing, it's a risk and reward, right?
Yeah.
So like, if I have to go, if I want to, not have to, if I want to get like good rates, like EHP, get some black chins, get those really good hunter rates, and I have to go to the wilderness to do that, why not figure out a way to minimize my chance of dying? And then if I find something that reduces my chance of dying by so much that they're going to nerf it, like, it's like, I just think it's silly that if I'm like, going out of my way to not fight you and you're trying to kill me and I'm able to get away, the only answer is to nerf what I'm wearing. It's like, I get it. I should be able to die, but like, people still die all the time in that stuff. It's just like, if like
it's tricky though.
It's not like
most people, like, if you're at the Chaos Altar and you have the defensive gear, like, most of the time you're like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I've seen people get attacked with Bulwark, and then the Pker is like, fuck it, I'm not blowing through all my runes, right? Which, so that's why I get where it's tricky.
But they're fighting someone that has nothing to fight back.
But then you also have to think, like, that person is also choosing to go into the wilderness. So I get where it's like, there needs to be, I don't know.
Yeah, if I choose to go in the wilderness and I'm confident that I have a strategy where I can come out alive, especially if it's a multi-combat area, and it works, then get good. Like, that's just it, right?
But is there any way to get good when
bring better gear, bring more people, or be like, fake me out? Like, if I'm able to see you put on my prayers and get running, and I get into singles and I'm able to just like run away and tell you out. Like, obviously, RuneScape in general, I could do that with no armor or like full rune because it's RNG. But like, it's a strategy that you develop. Like, now if I was in like Black D'hide with the rune scimitar or like a dragon scimitar, and then you attack me and you just don't get freezes, and I'm like walking out, then it's like, okay, buff the gear, because that's silly.
But like, in that scenario, it's the same thing, but the only difference is it's not just black d'hide we're talking about. We're talking about the bulwark, right? Because that's the problem, is that
it's the bulwark in conjunction with Carol's top body usually. I mean, the black d'hide, yeah, people will rock that, and they'll have like augury and then protect from magic. So you add all that together and you get decent magic defense. Because like really, that's like what the whole argument's about, is I can't freeze them.
Mm-hmm.
There are other ways to do it. And like if you're solo PKing someone, going for that person, like that's not a good idea. Like what are you doing?
But also you can rock the bulwark with like, I don't know, it's probably better items, but like bulwark with the black d'hide top and bottom, ring of suffering or something. Like you can have your 3 items and not risk anything really, and still be pretty
because you're not
damn safe.
But if you get skull tricked or you skull, then all of a sudden you're risking a bunch.
Yeah, but only idiots are getting skull tricked. But I don't know. Like, I don't think this is what they're going to stick with, because people were so much outrage about it. But I do want to see what they come back with if they decide to. I don't think they're just going to drop it how it is. I do think they might either buff Arums or something. And I think buffing Arums, not a whole lot, nothing crazy, but maybe buff it just a little bit more so that if someone's rocking Arums, then they have a better chance of getting a freeze. Because even if you get a freeze, it's not over there. I get frozen. I mean, I get away all the time with just black d'hide, right?
Yeah.
Like without even having the bulwark, there's a lot of times I can still get away even if they freeze me. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's because like the average Pker isn't that good. That's just part of the game of cat and mouse. Like that's the like I don't really like I you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? Like they got rev caves. You want to go gang up on a bunch of people and get easy kills? Go to rev caves.
Well, I mean, it's the wilderness in general, right? You can't. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm interested to see what. I don't think they're just going to leave it as it is. I think they are going to find some way to make it so that they can catch splat freezes easier. But we'll have to see what they actually do, right?
Yep. The Avernic Defender repair cost and death drop. So right now, the Avernic or Vernic drops 1 mil on PvP death, but it also costs 1 mil to repair. This isn't a gold sink, so they want to just up it to 1.25 mil to repair.
Yeah. They probably should have brought this one up first, so people like go into this being like, that seems fair. And then you get the other two, you're like, hold on, wait a minute.
Snare and entangle on free-to-play worlds. So they added teleblock. They want to add snare and entangle.
What one do they currently have?
Just the first one.
What is it? Let me check. Bind, that's right.
Yeah.
Interesting though, those two were also pulled and failed at one point.
Yeah, they shouldn't be put in.
You don't think so?
It's going to be a PvP only spell.
Oh, you worried about like Obor and stuff?
It makes Obor way, way easier. I mean, it's good for my free-to-play account, but...
What level do you need for...
50 for the first one. It's 25, 50, 75, I believe.
Okay, sure.
I could be wrong on the last one, but yeah, those are the proposed changes.
Interesting. So those won't be... They're not bringing those in, but that's what they want to do, but they're not going to be pulled.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to hear some slight changes to... I would say the Bulwark for sure. Granite Mall, I didn't really hear too much people bitching about that.
No, like the Gmaul does need to be nerfed.
Yeah, I think people are starting to realize it. In the past, people would bitch about it any time they looked at changing the Gmaul. But maybe now they're like, you know what? This is ridiculous.
Yep. So the next section to talk about is proposed polled changes. So these are ideas to be polled and voted on. But they want to have like a new smithing anvil interface to be updated with the quantity buttons, similar to the gold crafting interface.
Yeah, okay, that's I've been doing smithing addy bars, turning them into darts, and that's a pain in the ass. So
yep.
Versus any other skill now that we have that new interface.
Yeah, and they want to do that with silver crafting as well.
Cool.
And the lectern interface.
All right.
Yeah. The next one is a doozy. which I think is very necessary, but a player-owned house advertisement board, which has been suggested by the community many times.
Nice.
Currently, if you go to World 330 and you're looking for a player-owned house host, they're very useful for prayer training, making teletabs, repairing armor, clockwork toys, birdhouse, like all this stuff, right? Yeah. They're extremely, like teleports, pools, whatever. Like they're extremely helpful. And there's this weird ongoing meta where they hire bots or they just have alt account spam. And at first it was like one character that would spam each host, but then it gets to the point where there's like 4 or 5 for one host. And
there's tons.
It's awful. So they want to propose a an advertisement board, and it would probably just like streamline the process of finding someone, and maybe you just click on it and boom.
That's interesting. Now I wonder if should this be something that you can spend money on to have your name on the board, or have your name appear at the top if you spend more money than someone else?
That'd be kind of cool.
Because the way I see it, it's probably gonna be like whoever advertises first, boom,
or alphabetical,
which isn't. Then you're gonna have like people changing their names just for that, right?
Yeah,
like a Dilz. So might be a way to you spend your money, your name's on top.
Yeah.
Gold
it would display the name of the homeowner, construction level, and choice of what they're sharing for the house. So Gilded Altar, Lectern, Portal Nexus. When a player looks at the board, they can click the homeowner's name and it will teleport them into the house.
So that's tricky because what if someone has, the best of the best of the house? They can offer all of this stuff, right?
Well, it would show the construction level.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. And then you would sort through what you need specifically.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The next thing is a marble lectern. So, should we allow players to create a new marble lectern that combines the ability to make tablets from both the Mahogany Eagle and the Mahogany Demon lecterns? This requires 77 construction, 1 marble block, 1 magic stone, 1 gold leaf to create. They have different tabs, and they did that because they wanted people to make a decision, but then they realized oh, people just have 2.
Yeah.
So what's the point? I
think it's fair. Smush them together.
Yeah.
Free up some space so you can actually have your house to be fun.
Yeah. And the kill death ratios, they want to split them up. So they want to have a PvP KDR where once you're in a PvP world, then you have your own KD ratio. It would reset your KD currently on your account.
Ooh, some people not gonna like that.
I mean, I'd like that.
Sure.
Better KD for me eventually. Then they have a reset that would be 1 for Bounty Hunter World, which would also reset. So there would be 3 different KDs. 1 for general PvP, 1 for Bounty Hunter, and 1 for PvP Worlds.
May as well have another one that's you can toggle overall. You know what I mean? Choose, because maybe some people are I don't care what world, I want to know overall. I don't want to have to do the math myself.
Yeah. The next one is the Volcanic Mine. So in order to start a game, a player must left-click the Volcanic Mine and go through some dialogue and exchange Nummulites to enter. They want to have a right-click quick start, which will automatically take the Nummulite feat out of your inventory. Please do that, because it was pretty annoying when I was doing Volcanic Mine.
True.
And teeth farming. In order to water your plants in Teeth Farm, you must click your watering can and then the plant. We'd like to allow left-clicking watering of plants in Teeth Farm.
Oh, because teeth farming sucks so much? Go ahead.
Well, this does affect rates and speed. Even though teeth farming is not efficient at all, it's actually super inefficient to do teeth farming for experience.
So it's been a while since I've done teeth farming, but can't you do it all tick perfectly with the watering can as it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so this would just make it easier to get that tick perfect, right?
Yeah.
Right, because you plant the seeds and then you spam click the watering can and boom. So you plant the seeds, then you water it.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I remember now. And you'd also have it so that your screen, the watering can was right next to the patch.
I don't really think this is necessary. I did hate teeth farming. Everyone hates it. They've already made it a lot better. with the Hasidious house rework. They're just making it easier. It's still gonna suck to do.
Yeah, I don't think people ever complain about the watering part, but so I'm totally cool. It's like, for me, it seems like a quality of life because teeth farming is still going to be just as hard.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think more people are going to be like, oh, finally I can go get my farming outfit.
I mean, you can argue it's Easyscape, but doing teeth farming for like a farming outfit is like it's a really bad idea unless if you care about EHP,
and you're going for 200 mil.
Or just in general, like no matter
that's
what.
Right. Yeah. For farming, yeah.
Well, for EHP, like the argument for it not being EHP at all is that it's efficient hours played. Mm-hmm. So if I can spend 20 minutes a day and get like 2 tree runs and a magic tree run in total and get all that experience, or play for like 2 hours plus straight of a very click intensive focus, all I'm doing is teeth farming.
Yeah.
Over time, right? Like if I hit like say 2 hours of only doing tree runs compared to 2 hours of teeth farming, experience is going to be very much lopsided in favor of tree runs.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
10 minutes of tree runs equivalent to like 2 hours of teeth farming, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're like a collector, you want to get all this stuff. I don't know. I don't really care too much because I won't really ever do teeth farming again.
And I would argue most people won't.
Yeah. Whatever. Should that be a thing? Who cares? Should we update Beloga's blessing to be 1 teeth point per 10 blessing? And so what is a Beloga blessing? Well, it's the blessing that allows players to pick Zamorak's grapes instead of grapes from the binary.
So yeah, I think that's a decent idea. It might make it actual.
It was a 1-to-1 ratio before.
Oh, well, I mean, might be able to score some decent money. I don't think anyone does the grapes. I did the grapes for a bit, and then I realized that it's like not really worth it.
I mean, it might be worth it for like some Iron Man at some weird stage of the game, but I don't know too much about it to like really have like a strong opinion.
Yeah.
Chaos Elemental respawn timer. It's 2.5 minutes. There's only 1 Chaos Elemental per world, and they want to make it a 1-minute timer for everyone instead. I think it's a pretty good idea. Considering like it's annoying to kill and then world hop, especially so deep in the wilderness, and you're in such a vulnerable area too that's like decently active.
Oh yeah. And on top of that, it's got such a huge roam radius. Like you have to do a little bit of a run.
Yeah. Web slashing. Only specific types of weapons allowed to slash webs. They want to let any slash weapon slash webs.
Is that a problem?
Whips.
Yeah, it's weird. Well,
I don't think a whip should be able to slash a web.
Well, if it's a spider web, I'm pretty sure like a person could walk through it.
Well, like no, they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay.
Like thick.
True. Yeah, that is a bit tricky because that's one nice, like, I'm going to bring my wilderness sword with me because it's got 100% chance to slash through them. Or someone might have the dragon dagger. Yeah.
I don't think it's probably going to, like, if it gets put in, it'll probably pass. But I think that's really dumb because the whole point of, like, yeah, that stuff is you bring a knife or, like, your wilderness sword or, like, a weapon that you can actually use to slash. If you just, like, bring your whip to do Slayer.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it was kind of cool having to bring 1 inventory slot with your knife.
Yeah.
Right? There's a knife that spawns by the mage arena for that.
Yep. Locator orbs. So, after completing Dragon Slayer 2, players can only have 1 locator orb at a time on them. And since the orbs are useful for draining health similar to Dwarven Rock Cakes, it can be a pain to retrieve another one upon death. So they want to allow you to get multiple copies by speaking to Anna.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, a lot of people use that for Nightmare Zone over the Dwarven Rock Cakes.
It's faster.
Yeah, and I never even thought of that.
Yeah, it's way faster. You know, it's like right-click guzzle.
Yeah.
The Shiloh Village shortcut. So, players can directly teleport to Duradel with Cramja Gloves 4, thus making the Shiloh Village River shortcut rather useless. And it is from the Elite Cramja Diary, so they want to just put that to the medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ecumenical keys. So, They're currently 1 in 60. Once you possess a key, though, then it goes up to 10. So 1 in 70 and 1 in 80 for the second and third keys. You're limited to a maximum of 3 keys. If you get more than that, if you get more than that, you'll be unable to pick up anymore until they are destroyed or used. However, upon the completion of medium or hard wilderness diaries, you can hold 4 or 5 at a time. We can remove the drop rate restrictions to a flat 1 out of 60, regardless of the keys a player currently holds. I think they should do that.
I didn't even realize there was a timer. This is that in the poll question. There's a slight timer that makes it so you can't get keys too fast. You can't kill an imp, go kill another imp, and get 2 keys at the same time.
Yeah. In addition to the drop chance change, they realize aviancies don't drop keys.
Wow. I realized that too in this dev blog.
So they like to add keys to aviancies.
Oh, that's interesting, because I will get sometimes an aviancy task, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the wilderness and kill them so I can get the some Slayer experience while also getting the keys. It's good to know that that's not really... My RNG isn't just terrible, that it's like actually a game mechanic.
Clue casket locks. Since caskets are now stackable and clue scrolls have a graphical change to be color-coded, they want to do that to the caskets.
Sure.
Moving on to discussed changes. Proposed discussed changes. The special attack teleportation or teleport restriction in PvP. So November 2018, we all might remember, they suggested that they make a change to prevent players from teleporting for 3 seconds after using a special attack.
Right.
While in the wilderness. Since the change is proven unpopular with PvPers and is often requested we revert it, they can revert it, but they want to offer this as a discussion point first. So do you think it should be reverted?
See, I'm going to do a hard pass. I don't PK that. I don't PK at all, really. So I don't know if I don't know enough about the topic to know whether it should be reverted. It's like reading it at first, I was like, that seems great that you can't special attack and run away. Rushing is, I think it's terrible for PvPing. But if there seems to be that much like outcry in the PvP community, maybe it's not just rushing. Maybe there's something else that it fucks up.
Well, if it's just teleporting, if we're just going to think of it as like, should I always have the chance to teleport out of a fight if I'm not teleblocked? No matter what.
That's the thing I would say. Like, yeah, of course. But then you see like people who are rushing, right? And like,
yeah.
Then you're like, well, okay, it's a bit more complicated because it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. Though the main thing is that while you're teleporting, you don't take damage as well.
Yeah.
So what's the like? Should you always have an instant out in a 1v1? And the main thing is, if you're committing to trying to kill someone, should you still have that instant, like, get out of jail free card? That's like what the actual argument is, I think.
The only thing I can see where, like, this is affecting people who are not rushing is, like, imagine 2 people spec each other and just aren't, RNG's on the side. Maybe you don't kill the other person, or the person doesn't kill you, but it brings you down low on health. Sometimes you say, fuck it, I'm teleporting out of here, because I am about to get my ass kicked if he keeps getting lucky. Now they can't do that, right? So that's the thing. I don't PK enough to know like how big of a problem it is outside of rushing.
I just think as a concept, if you're going in to spec someone, you're like committing to KO someone. And if you're doing it as a desperate attempt to not die, you should like just teleport out. Use your specs at a better time next time. Because you can spec tele on the same tick.
Yeah.
That's what people want to be able to do. I think you can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't know. Like, it is annoying to spec someone and then have to wait 3 seconds. But the whole point of using your special is like you're intending to kill someone. Yeah, I don't know. I think it should be kept in.
So yeah, I'd pass for this poll because I don't know enough. I'd have to hear it from others who are avid PKers.
Yeah.
The only problem, the problem that I do see is that if two people they do DDS spec each, one person hits double zeros, one person hits double 30s, going in for another, the other person might be like, oh, fuck, I'm out of food. I want to get out of here. Should he just be like, no, now you're dead because you both
why are you specking on no food? You should be
I'm saying
out,
like
so you should probably get out of the fight.
Well, like in this hypothetical situation, that's why I'm saying I don't really know, because I can see where it would be kind of stupid to have this rule, but at the same time, I also don't like how easy it is for people to rush without having this rule in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Like I think if you're like bounty hunter, PvP, PKing, the game obviously RNG, whatever RNG memes, but like the only thing that makes someone better is like accurate clicks, but good decision making. I have no food. I'm on half HP. I'm just gonna double Gmalts and insta-telly.
But
is
that's
that,
the
is
thing,
that a
like,
good decision to make? Like,
obviously, not that one, but I can definitely see how there's tons of different decisions where it's like, where because RNG was not on your side, suddenly your choice is now, I should probably flee this fight. But it's like, well, no, too bad, because that's just this, you know what I mean? Just
that's RNG. I mean, that's the game that you're choosing to play.
Yeah.
Like RuneScape's dictated by RNG, but like if it happens once, it happens. But if you're like a good PKer, like you watch like the YouTubers, and a lot of them are able to string like tier 10 emblems like consistently on good accounts.
Sure, yeah.
And it's like, one, the account build is good, but also like you see them make better decisions consistently than their opponents.
That's what it boils down to, right?
Yeah.
Being consistent. So
you die 1 in 10 times due to bad RNG, or like, you know, maybe 4 out of 10 times because of bad RNG. But overall, you're getting more kills than a bad PK where they're dying 10 out of 10 times because they have bad decision making.
Yeah, like we'll have to see. Like clearly, enough people are talking about this that they're wanting to possibly revert it. It definitely could be something that most PKers are like, no, even with rushing, this is a stupid change to have added, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to see, because I have no idea, and I haven't seen any of the discussions myself. So I really have no idea.
All right, next up, imbued god capes and other untradables. One of the most commonly questioned subjects as a result of the State of PvP blog is that imbued god capes are always lost on death, but only in PvP. When originally pulled, they were to be lost no matter what. But the way the death system works, it is overridden, and they want to discuss about what they should do moving forward. This could be adding them to Purdue, so they're usable in pre-20 wilderness, or making them lost in PVM situations too, so that's fair for PVM and PvPers alike. Or like they would like to make changes to match like a new poll. Like they don't really know exactly which direction they want to. Like we always talk about the fairness between PvP and PVM. This item specifically is super weird.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that.
It's necessary for raids. But in both instances, like it's not necessary for Theater of Blood, but people will bring it. But yeah, like you use it in PVM and you won't ever lose it. You won't ever have to get a new one. But like in PvP, you kind of always have to go back and get one. So
that's tricky, and I feel like I don't feel like they should do anything with like it's an issue. But the whole death mechanic in PVM is an issue that I think also needs to be fixed as well. I'm surprised they haven't changed it yet. We've heard their suggestions like months ago, right?
Yeah.
And I feel so changing this is just doing a temporary fix, whereas in the future we're gonna have to revisit this problem again, right?
The main thing is that I don't think a specific item that's untradeable should always be lost on death in PVM and in PvP. Like I think they should just make the God Imbue capes similar to other PVM items for PvPers.
Mm-hmm.
Where like if you just die in like a PvP world, you can still you don't have to go back and get another one.
Yeah.
Because like as much as like PvPers have to go through so many like fucking hoops to like play their own content.
Yeah.
Like if you want to play a Void Pure,
You have to PVM a bit, right?
a lot.
Yeah.
You have to PVM and quest a lot. If you want to make a baby like Mauler, okay, it takes 2 seconds. They're getting nerfed, whatever. But like to do any kind of like unique, fun PvP, like you kind of have to just suck it up and do PvP, PVM, and like questing and skilling. And then PVMers, like you don't like PvP, so you just don't have to do it.
Yeah, pretty simple.
But even like, yeah, like the little hoops, like always having to go back and get your imbued cape, like that is annoying, especially if you don't want to be like deep wilderness PKing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be more okay with it being in line with other PVM items where like, if you bring like Void above 20, you lose it. Do that with the God Cape.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because I also know that eventually we'll be revisiting this with the death changes. So
yeah,
that seems like the easiest now without making it shitty for anyone because there'll be a new change in the future and then we can have the big discussion about every item after that.
Yeah. And last but not least, magical defense calculation in PvP. So they have the ability to make magical defense be calculated differently for PvP and PVM. And it's currently 70% of your magical stat and 30% of your defense stat. Similar to what we did in Seasonal Deadman mode, we could change these percentages to be 50% for both and PvP only, while leaving PVM alone.
Yeah, I think that's fair. What do you think?
I don't know how much of an impact that'll have. I don't know what that does. Like, is everyone more susceptible to magic damage now?
I guess,
or is it like a nerf to pures?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's stupid how your magic level is worth more than the actual bonus, right? But what does that mean? How it says currently it's 70% of your magical stat. Does that mean if you have level 99 magic, it acts as 70 plus to magical defense?
So I'm assuming if someone attacks you with a mage spell, and it's rolling against your defense, like, is it going to splash or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
The number that comes up is like your magic level and your defense level. Like, that's one of the things in consideration.
Yeah. And
so it'd be like 70 and 30 split.
Oh, but sorry, I read this completely wrong. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I misheard that. I thought for some reason I was thinking it was talking about 70% of your magical stat, but then 30% of your armor, the armor stats.
It could mean that. Actually, maybe it is that because it says stat, not level.
Yeah, I don't know.
Magic defense. Wait, no, it would have to. They'd have to mean level because mage does play an effect, right?
Yeah,
your mage level.
I always thought that your defense level never mattered.
Mm.
And 30% from your defense stat, is that magic defense stat or your defense level stat?
Or is it your magic defense?
That's what I was thinking, like the magic defense stat from your armor.
I
don't think we can give our input on this because I don't think I understand what the question is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should look into like how the breakdown actually is a bit more.
Magical defense is I'm on the defense wiki. Like your defense level. Yeah, your defense level. So magical defense is different. It is based on 70% of the magic level, while the 30% is the defense level. Okay.
Followed by magical defense bonus from their armor. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of okay.
Now we're back on.
Makes sense. That's kind of what I was thinking, but
I'll kind of agree with you that I don't know how much of an effect that will actually do. It would make pures would probably get hit on way more, right?
Yeah.
The Tome of Fire pures would probably be doing a lot better.
See, the thing is, I want to disagree with that only because I'm like super into Harry Potter right now and the defense against the dark arts.
Okay.
That's one of the classes.
Oh, okay. Now is it magic defense? Does someone's physical attributes matter at all? Like if a guy's muscular, is he stronger against the magic?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So back to the, I guess we just don't know enough about that or like what exactly it would change. But I didn't even really notice. I guess there were more freezes in the Deadman mode finals.
Yeah,
the last one, but also Zuriels and stuff, right? Like way better gear.
That's the
like,
thing. I feel like
people were going in with the best mage gear. So in general, you were just seeing like regardless more freezes because they had better gear.
Yeah,
and like Ring of Suffering wasn't in. I have no idea. I'd like to talk to some mathematicians. But yeah, I guess next up is, have you seen any of like anyone talking about the Last Man Standing beta?
I have actually tried it myself too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you like it?
So, okay, so they changed the way Last Man Standing works. Originally, you start off with a spear. That was it. You fought each other. You looted crates, and you got gear from the crates. You got stronger, and then you'd fight more people. It was basically like Fortnite. It's your classic battle royale, right? Start off with nothing, but they've really changed it up big time. You now start off with a full setup, like a tri-breeding setup. You have your Mystics tops and bottoms. You have a black d'hide top. You have rune plate legs. You have your Neat's Knot helmet. Nata's Knot, sorry. You have a spectral shield, the spirit shield, I should say. And you have a defender. Then you have a whip, DDS, ancient staff, rune crossbow. You have like super restore, Ceradomin potion, super combat, range potion, energy potion, some food, and barrage and blood. Sorry, ice barrage and blood barrage runes. So that's what you start off with, and then a bunch of food. Yeah, so you start off doing like a tribrid fight, and then when you kill someone, you get a key that lets you open up a chest, and in that chest you can get like a bunch of different gear, like Armadyl God Sword, Armadyl Crossbow, Granite Mull, Inferno Cape, Dragon Warhammer, Aram's Top, Carol's Torax, Varrock's Fury, Eternal Boots, Tassets, but then also you get the Zuriel Staff, Morgana's Javelin, Vesta's Longsword, or the Statius Warhammer. Those four seem to be pretty rare. I never ever encountered someone with it. Yeah, at first I didn't like it. This wasn't what I wanted of Last Man Standing. But that's because I was going in being like, this is supposed to be Battle Royale. Like, this isn't what I want out of my Battle Royale game. Mm-hmm. But it took me a few times to kind of get it. I was playing with some people from the CC. We were talking on Discord. And after I was kind of like, okay, this isn't really Battle Royale anymore. It's just
Tribrid fighting.
Tribrid fighting to see who's the last one alive.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, so that's what they're going for with it. And then I started having more fun. So the problem is, like, I'm a bit, I don't know if you want to say biased, but I'm bad at tribriding, and I'm learning that a lot as I'm tribriding. Mm-hmm. I got my ass kicked 80% of the time.
Yeah.
I played it for like an hour or two, and I maybe killed 3 or 4 people. So I got fucking my ass kicked so often. And so I'm just really bad at it. And I guess the average person or the average Pker is way better at it than I am. And it's frustrating. It was frustrating at times, but I did start having fun. Like the odd time I got a kill, it was a huge rush.
Yeah.
And I always died. I died like almost instantly the second time. But so once I understood that this wasn't a battle royale and was just a tribrid fight, she was the last one left, and the winner keeps getting little upgrades. Then I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. I kind of get it. I like this because it gives me a chance to practice tribriding without wasting money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoy it for what it is after I kind of got what they were going for.
Yeah. Like I really do have like a big itch to play RuneScape. I just haven't played it for like a while, too long.
Yeah.
But like when I saw like all the positive feedback from like from the beta, I'm gonna be dreaming about it.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely like I really need to start playing again because like that was my big thing holding me back in like PvP was just having not like free moneyless fights, but like especially I guess for Last Man Standing in the beginning, extremely even fights. Like the people I would fight and practice with, it would be like I'm a higher level, so I'll let them bring way better gear.
Yeah,
and now it's kind of balanced, but I'm still max hitting. We can't balance these fights out, right?
Yeah. Important. I don't mean to cut you off, but important about the last man standing. You have unlimited prayer. So anyway, continue.
Yeah. I don't know. That's actually like a really good point to like bring up, because it makes managing prayer like something that like you still have to learn.
Yeah.
And arguably it's the most important thing. Like once you get out into the wilderness, like getting smited.
Oh yeah.
You get smitten for your for your AGS. Ouchies. But like it's a really good like training ground, and it sounds like perfect for something for like me and even like my buddies. Even if last man standing still dies, you only need like 4 people?
Something like that.
Like the number is really low, and you can just get a couple people to like just come in and have fun. Let's just try brave. Let's practice, whatever. We can even do honor systems. Like streamers can set up like their own little Tribrid tournaments now.
Yeah, exactly.
That isn't based on Duel Arena and Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
We could set up little tournaments too. Like little fun, you know what I mean? Like for PvP, who's the best Tribrid? Like this opens up like a lot of really cool ideas just outside of the last man standing. And but going back to it, there are some rules in the beta.
Another important note that I forgot to mention, that when you do kill someone, your health is put back to max and you get a full inventory of food.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So it's not like you don't want to fight because then you're going to run out of food. Like you still want to fight because you get refreshed.
And you get a potentially better gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the rules, they have a high stakes, and that's 1 mil to play. If you get 3rd to 5th, you get a free entry token, and you earn points for a shop. And I guess 2nd and 1st, you gain money. Can you make money from this? They don't really. It's very point form, but
I think you would. I think it's how it is now.
Yeah.
You pay 1 GP or 1 mil, and the winner gets like 70% of it or something.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of cool. Like solo Pkers can consistently make money not at rev caves.
Yeah.
And attacking people in Din's Bulwark and then asking to be nerfed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So for competitive, you need 24 players to begin and it affects your rank. Players earn points at the reward shop. There's no entry fee, no free entry tokens awarded, and no coins are awarded. So you just get points to this shop we'll talk about in a bit. Casual, you only need 4 people to begin. No entry fee, no rewards.
So I just wonder about the competitive. Like they're really hoping that people want the rewards from the shop. If they don't and nobody plays it, then that's going to be like kind of shitty.
They mention affects your rank.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an ELO system.
Yeah.
Which you put an ELO system in anything, people will want to grind it.
Last Man Standing already had an ELO system, though, that no one really cared about. That's a problem.
Well, it's just, shit.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So, we mentioned rewards. What are they? So, outside of, I guess, competitive points and gold, they have some awards that they are suggesting. And we can suggest.
Yeah.
They're still open to suggestions, as always. But first one is the Dead Man armor. Because Dead Man mode is retired, there was a set of armor that you could purchase with bloody coins. No one ever did it, but they added the armor to the Last Man Standing store. I really like that.
It looks cool.
Reusing assets.
It looks good.
Smart.
Yeah. Looks
good. It's an homage to Dead Man. It's fun. It's fast. It's fun. The Trover Parchment. So while under 20 wilderness, some untradeable items will break on death.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier too.
Yep. Players can take these broken items to Purdue, who will repair them for a fee. In order to encourage use of these items in deeper wilderness, we propose a consumable scroll that can be handed into Purdue, and he would use them to enchant one of these items. An enchanted item would not be lost above 20 wilderness. Instead, the item will lose its enchantment and be kept in its broken form as the player had died in under 20 wilderness. This will also occur for PVM deaths. In a PvP situation, 75% of the repair fee of an item is dropped. Not like you're losing out for killing someone.
Yeah. That's a cool. I don't know. That's a cool idea. Depending on how easy they are to get, I would hope that suddenly people are just rocking Void back in the, you know what I mean? Like Void all through the wilderness.
That would be really cool, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want that to be the meta. I would like it to be like, yeah, you can. I don't want it to be a crazy grind, but I also don't want you to complete one round of Last Man Standing and be able to enchant a whole set.
Of course, yeah. But if you're bringing like a full set of Void range, like Void's good, but it also has like no defensive capabilities. And like Void's good in PvP, but is it good in like a no honor situation?
Yeah.
Where like you're going to get bopped by some dude that can out like flick, switch, spec, like, you know what I mean? So you can like, I really like that idea of like, even if you want a PVM and you're like, this opens up like, hey, and you can put it on your god cape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. Or like a fighter torso or a fire cape, inferno cape. You can venture out deep in the wilderness and bring these items out as like an average player, right?
Yeah.
If I want to go bossing and go kill Callisto, I can now bring a fire cape if I want.
And for PVMers too, like the Slayer mask, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to worry about, I don't know, getting tricked or whatever to lose it.
So I really like that idea. The next thing is halos. So for many years, Castle Wars have offered 3 god halos as a reward.
That's Saradomin, Gothic, Zamorak.
Yeah. So what about Armadale, Bandos, Saren, Zeros, and Brassica?
Do you know what Brassica is?
No.
The god of cabbage.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
It's weird.
Good old RuneScape. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they offer these 5 new halos as a reward. These will have the same stats as the existing halos, but will allow you to choose to support the god of your, but will allow you to choose,
Fashionscape.
Yeah, but will allow you to support the god of your choosing. The next one is experience rewards. For the top 5 players in any competitive game of Last Man Standing, we'd like to offer an experience reward through a tome or a token that can be redeemed in combat experience of their choice, 35 times their skill level.
35 times, eh?
Yeah. Combat.
Is it combat only? Oh, combat. Okay.
Yeah. This allows
oh, wait a minute.
Like pures to train
without getting HP or something.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but also like not just AFK and sand crabs. You can do something fun and get like it won't be the most, like your level 10 strength is 350 experience. This isn't in casual though. It's only in competitive or high stakes.
Yeah.
So you'll have to be good to get these. Like this won't be like if you're doing like some lower the better type shit, right? Where you're getting some janky ass achievement on like a 10 HP account, and you want to train like this, like you still have to be good. You can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
You can't fake or set up fights unless the game mode's dead. But if it's dead,
you gotta find 24 people to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's cool. I just don't want someone, I don't know if easily training without
it's not easily though. You have to come into like top 5 and it's not even a lot of experience.
So if someone was good enough, do you think it's okay that they would be able to like easily level skills without leveling HP? Like there's a lot of like accounts that keep their health at 10, right?
Yeah.
So if they're good enough, do you think they should be able to like level up that account easier? Or do you think that they should balance that differently?
So the only accounts I can think of that would really benefit this off the top of my head are those weird niche, depending on how you pronounce it, 10 HP accounts that like are 10 HP pures.
Yeah.
But even then, there's a lot of alternatives where you, like the Shazian contract.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Cannoning, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then pest control for like, if prayer's considered combat. But the thing is, like, they have to be good and they have to win a lot for this to be like, to even debate being competitive for these like niche accounts.
I do like that though. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, so there's always going to be better methods. It seems like, and I think like I'm kind of like opening up to the idea of like PvPers should easily be able to like get certain things without being forced to PVM every step of the way.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call.
So the next one is games played in one cosmetics. This would be similar to like the Chambers of Xerix like hard mode and Theater of Blood completion milestones. And they'd like to do that for Last Man Standing.
As long as they look good. If you're going to put these capes in it, make them look cool. Yeah.
3-speed one-handed weapons. So for a long time, Oldschool's had the event RPG, and then the hand joint was added as the quick weapons to help train certain pure builds. We'd like to offer another weapon to add to this list, but one that is a bit more thematic with the regular weapons of Oldschool. So, one-handed, 3-tick. So, this would be like fast weapons that have no stats.
Yeah.
If they have stats, that's very bad. But
it's basically meant for maulers.
Yeah. And like event RPGs look silly.
Yeah, they do.
Kicking with a bazooka.
Yeah.
And then have beaten up someone with ham.
Yeah.
A bit silly.
This gives someone an option who doesn't want to drop 3 mil.
So in early 2018, players gained the ability to add a Saradomin's Light to a Staff of the Dead. This added some variety as a high-level magic weapon that could cast Saradomin Strike. But what about Guthix? With this reward, players would be able to take the Guthix icon to Juna, and she would infuse it into a Staff of the Dead, creating the Staff of Balance. This isn't the 3-tick weapon. This is like a new...
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Just because at first I'm like, what? But no. This is like a new way to introduce.
I just don't like how this item that drops that's a Zamorakian by default is now getting all these items to change it to a different god. Like, you could easily take like the Void Staff. I saw that as a suggestion on the subreddit.
Yeah.
Use the Void Staff because that's already a Guthix weapon, and then adding this to create maybe a 2-handed staff, whatever. But I don't know. I'm also indifferent. It just seems...
Lore-wise, doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually argue that Staff of the Dead, you're purifying it with like Saradomin's Light, and then you would be putting a Guthixian.
Yeah.
That I'm not really too fond of, but
next you'll have like the Sarah Sword, right? Maybe you fuse that with Zamorak or Guthix, which well, I don't know.
But yeah, it would just be the Guthix equivalent. The next item is the Bolas, and it's a thrown range weapon that would require 70 range to wield. And when Bolas are thrown as an auto attack, it binds around the player for around 10 seconds. It's possible to miss the bind as with other attacks from a weapon, but thrown Bolas cannot be retrieved from the ground or by an Ava's device. Or any Ava's device.
Mm-hmm.
The Bolas will carry the same offensive stats as a rune knife, but with an attack speed of 6, and the range of the Bolas is 7.
So when I hear that, it sounds cool on paper, but I know a lot of people are not okay with this item. And hearing their arguments, I guess I kind of agree with them, because this is an item in RuneScape 3, and the problem is now you're suddenly able to, let's say Deep Wilderness, people bring D'hide to protect from magic because they don't want to get froze. But now you have a ranged weapon that you're gonna have to protect from ranged defense, and it's a really good weapon to rag people with. And I guess a big part of it is how easy is it going to be to obtain,
and how easy is it going to be to snare someone with it?
Yeah, well, it has to hit. That's what it says. So it's not even like a special attack. So this is like one of those weapons that doesn't have as much of a counterplay.
Yeah.
Whereas freezes, you got your D'hide and stuff. And also,
I mean, you could, like, when you think range defense, you're thinking just like Torag, Darok, type stuff in the wilderness.
But it's hard, especially with a team, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's like you'll get caught
multiple ways to, but it's only 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And it can't be reduced if you have protect from range?
Doesn't say so.
Okay.
Like, we do have the Zamorak God Sword that freezes people, but you need to be in melee distance really easy to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of see why people don't like this item, and I guess I kind of agree. There's less counterplay. Maybe it's different if it was like a spec with the Bola weapon. You know what I mean?
Staff of Paralysis. The Staff of Paralysis is a one-handed staff that requires 70 magic to wield. It can hold 1,000 charges, require 3 nature, 4 earth, and 4 water runes per charge. On each cast, the Staff of Paralysis would have a 1 in 10 chance of turning off your opponent's run. The staff would have a max hit of 10 and attack rate of 5.
That's interesting.
Does it just turn it off or does it disable it? You have to be flicking run speed?
Yeah. Interesting weapon. Not sure if it'd have much use or where it would be used, but I don't know. I'm interested. I don't know.
Tank tests.
Yeah.
You're running through. You're getting bullied. You're walking nonstop. It would make tanking way harder.
Yeah.
But I guess you have to risk like upwards of 3,000 nature runes and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Last man standing, only cosmetics. So when we're good at something, we like to show it off. And with this in mind, we want to offer the ability to partner up with Twitch Prime. No.
I was like, shit, where is he reading this?
Offer the ability to unlock cosmetic changes to the starting equipment described earlier. So you could change your mystic robes to light, dark, or dusk, your range equipment to gilded, and your rune equipment to god or gilded variants.
That's cool.
When they say gilded, do they mean like trimmed or like literal?
Probably like the trimmed, right?
I think
they
meant to say trimmed.
Oh, for like the rune?
For the ranged. They said ranged equipment to be gilded. I think they meant...
Well, they do have the gilded god, I think, now, right? It's like the gilded d'hide. Yeah, it's like a yellow d'hide.
But it's as good as a green d'hide, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I guess maybe they just have the cosmetic and it'd be as good as black. That's probably what it would just be.
Or the trimmed, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So they have that as a suggestion. And then I guess the most arguably...
The controversial one?
Yeah. Is negative experience lamps. They've talked about this before.
This time they don't specify whether it would have a cap. You buy these lamps from Last Man Standing. They take away 500 experience from a skill or a stat. But the stat can't be higher than level 50. So a lot of issues with this.
Yeah.
I like a lot of people who want it are people who accidentally got level 2 defense on their peer.
That's the intention.
That's the intention. But now if you watch is it Rendy? Is that his name?
Yeah. Rendy, OSR small, like these achievement, low level achievement. Even the guy that did the Infernal Cape on his peer, like level 50 or whatever, exact RS or something.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you ever watch the lower the better, it's all about getting some sort of achievement as low as possible. Well, with this stat, you could, with enough time, you could be a level 3 with an Inferno Cape.
Yeah.
Well, you could if you're good enough, because you can't be higher than 50. But still, right? You could
fire capes.
Fire capes would be you'd definitely see some level 3 fire capes.
Yeah.
And so that's one
Even
problem.
Pets. People with pets, because you can just start at level 1 or like a low level and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Keep
true.
at a certain level.
There's also so this one I don't know how, like I don't have a pure account, so I'm not as invested. I do, but I don't really play it. But people could now have different builds for their peers. You could have Addy gloves. You have a Varrock diary, the chest body.
Yeah.
Probably tons of other quest items you could use, because now you don't have to worry about your defense. You just lower it down. That one, I guess I'm a bit more on board, because it would be kind of interesting to see all these cool, unique ones. But at the same time, if I'm playing a pure, now if I want to have an optimal pure, I'll have to do the same, right?
Yeah.
But that's from a selfish standpoint. I guess both ways. The reason I would like it is because I would like to watch these YouTube videos now to see the pures, these cool builds.
But if there's no limit...
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, then you're going to see some like really silly builds. My main thing is that like, I talked to them before, but like speedrunning community, they like to do things as fast as possible, all that stuff. There are some speedrunning things in RuneScape, but I think like the equivalent to that is kind of like lower the better type stuff that we've talked about. But
Yeah,
like,
it's yeah.
the weird like low level achievement or like like super unique accounts that are like kind of cool. Like he's got like level 3 accounts of KVD accounts and stuff like that. And there's accounts that have like they're level 3 and they have like they've killed like the mole mother or whatever, the giant mole. And I think this kind of would mess with that whole community.
Yeah.
And it kills the potential of like that community to grow. I mean, it's not the biggest, obviously, because it's very hard and a lot of theory crafting and mechanical skill.
So that would make it,
it
takes away the integrity of it. But
yeah, they made some other changes though, such as like within the minigame, you have 75 defense.
Yep.
You always have ancients. You'll always get fake experience drops.
So you can time out KOs.
Yep. No prayer draining, no smiting, no shops. Killing players restocks your inventory with food or with starting supplies. And you get hit points and run energy. And supplies only appear to the player who dropped them, but equipment appears on the ground for everyone. And then future changes. Customizable loadouts.
Some people like to have their armor set up a certain way.
Yeah.
When I was playing with someone in the clan chat, that was one of his complaints, was that he had to spend the first thing or reorganizing his inventory.
Yeah. And they couldn't do it in the beta, but they'll be able to do that outside the beta. And then also Ultimate Iron Man access. They're currently unable to play, and they'll look into a temporary way for them to store items just for the game.
Cool.
And that is it for the updates.
Fun stuff. So give us your input, especially if you're into the PKing community. Love to hear it, because I'm pretty ignorant in that, but after the Last Man Standing, it's something I want to get better at. And and actually a chance so I can maybe go PKing and not get my ass handed to me. Now we're at the segment where we like to teleport back in time. This is where we go back and look at updates from... I always try to do the math. I should know this by now. 18 years ago. We go back 18 years and see what updates were coming along week by week as we do the show. So we're going to teleport back to July 12th, 2001. And in this week, we got improved prayer systems and more. What does that mean? Well, the prayer, the monastery area I was at, I was going to say the prayer guild, but that's not what it's called. You can now get monk robes, and there's a special new altar to prayer at. They added silver rocks into the game. A new necklace, the holy symbol, was added, which was made from crafting silver. You can get it blessed, and it makes your prayer last longer. And lastly, the black hole experience in the dwarven mines. So I'm pretty sure this is from when you got banned, you get sent to this black area, right? Just a void, basically.
Yeah.
And your account would just stay there. People could purchase the disc of returning, where they can go and you could talk to someone still if you were banned. And eventually they took that part out, and that became a discontinued item that was worth lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that had happened. So now we're going to move on to the Grand Exchange. We'll bring back the lore stuff after episode 140. We've just been super busy with lots of content to cover, so it is coming back, though, next couple episodes. So now we're going to tell you about what we got going on with the show. First things first, if you like Audible or you like ebooks, or not ebooks, but audiobooks, if you like books but don't have time, you might like audiobooks. Go to audibletrial.com/wild. Did want to mention, though, if you're getting the free month thing, do make sure that you're and you're planning on canceling it afterwards. It's probably terrible to tackle this into the sponsorship, but
we're going to lose the sponsorship. We just lost our sponsorship.
Yeah, fuck it. We're going rogue. But do make sure if you plan on canceling it, that you're canceling on the right one. If you're from the US, it should redirect you straight to the .com site. But if you're like me and you're from outside the US or from Canada,
or UK,
anywhere, Europe, anywhere outside the US, if you try to go to .com, it usually redirects you to your country website version. So I always kept going to .ca, where when I go to cancel it says my membership wasn't going. I was like, oh, cool, makes sense. Well, anyways, I found out 6 months later I was paying for it, and it can be pretty expensive, especially if you're not listening to all of them like I was. So I I did call them up, told them my situation, I explained myself, and they were super helpful and gave me a full refund. So yeah, just make sure you call the U.S. customer support.
This is the worst sponsorship plug I've ever heard.
I was just like, shit. I got not tricked, but I didn't realize I didn't cancel it. And I was like, maybe other people are in the same situation. Double check it. But if you do have the money to spend on it, it is totally worth it. Yeah, the audiobooks are super good. And it's like, what was it, like $15 a month or something? I can't remember how much exactly it is, but it's totally worth it because some audiobooks can be like $60 for the one-time purchase.
Yeah.
So you're paying monthly. It's good. audibletrial.com/wild.
Yeah, I mean, it got me into Harry Potter. I've been ripping through Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's right. Every week you're like on a new book, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you can also support us at patreon.com/The Wilderness Podcast. Our supporter of the week is Joseph Falliker. So thank you very much for supporting. Quick note, if you're trying to cancel it, no, I'm just kidding. I think it's pretty straightforward. You do have to fill out some, like, you do have to answer some riddles before you can actually unsubscribe.
In, like your RSN and your password. And
they're tough ones, but you know, if you really are serious about unsubscribing, you can. You should be able to figure it out. No, that's a joke. Should be pretty straightforward. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on. We did get some emails. So first thing is first. It is from Drudge Jed. Nice. He just says, "Hey, Deegan and Dilz, just wanted to say thanks for putting out a nice to listen to podcast about RuneScape. I'm a fairly new player, been playing since last November, and I've had tons of fun. Was looking for something to listen to for work because I drive a lot and found your podcast. Glad I did. It has been my replacement for the radio for the past week or so. I like your format and your chill vibe you two have on the podcast. Easy to listen to. I know this is pretty presumptuous, but just wondering if you ever wanted to have a new player's view of the game, I would be happy to answer any questions. Not pressuring, but just offering my view of the game since you two are lifers. We really are lifers, aren't we? Hope your RNG is beyond belief. Although my first question is, are you a brand spanking new player, or did you just quit for 10 years as most people have, right? Because I am interested from a new player's perspective who has never touched the game before. Why? First off, right?
Yeah.
We talked about earlier how this game doesn't have the best looking graphics and the tick system is a bit clunky. Luckily, the tick system you don't realize till later on. But really, the graphics, right, do turn off some people. Although people who do like the game tend to love it. But yeah, I am interested from a fresh new player how you actually found the game and how you get into it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I've introduced a lot of people to RuneScape, like coworkers, friends, and all that. And it's always really fun, especially like come from like different like backgrounds of video games. You know what I mean? Like, from like casual to like some people are like, you know, some of them are like super in MMOs, and like there's just like different people. I've noticed that like a new player will have like just different ideas of how to progress. Like one friend of mine that I got into RuneScape was like questing and like doing all the free to play quests, and was like, I'm doing all these quests, but my character isn't really getting stronger.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that being a weird concept. Normally you're doing quests like in any game, like you get items and levels, but like you get some levels in free to play, but like
sometimes you do a quest and get 300 gold, right?
And you're like, cool. But then like you're kind of like, but like I'm leveling, right? I don't see an experience bar, but like I'm getting better. And then you're like, and he was like, why am I not getting stronger? I'm like, oh shit, I didn't explain exactly how leveling and getting stronger works to you, did I? No. It's like, okay. And then some people just kind of pick it up, right?
Yep.
It's pretty like, yeah, from a new player's perspective, like it can vary very like hard.
Yeah, especially what game experiences and stuff. And
yeah, so it's always fun to like get perspectives on that.
Yeah, so yeah, let me know if you're how new, I guess, and what it is you like about the game, right? What pulled you in?
Yeah,
and how'd you find out about it? And then from there, I'm sure we'll have more questions. All right, the next email we got was from Josh. He says, it seems like they could have... So this is, I'm pretty sure this is talking about sorry. It definitely is talking about the partnerships reward idea because it's in the subject right here. So he says, it seems like they could have the cosmetic thing work with a token of some sorts. So say it's for the player-owned house, some new look or whatever it is, and let's say it's Twitch. You link your account and get an item in-game that is a token you take to a real estate agent, and you get it for free one time only. Then they can have the option there for everyone, but you pay whatever the price is for it. It can be themed for a game if it's like Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's probably something that they would do.
And that's what would make a microtransaction.
And that's where it does get problematic. But it's this weird thing where if they were to do partnerships, people aren't happy with getting the thing for free afterwards for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you have to pay money, but you could have got it for free earlier, then that's like the microtransaction part, right? And I think that's the big reason why it didn't pass was because both ways people looked at the situation, it looked bad.
It's microtransactions.
Yeah, and it looked bad for the game. I do want to say as well, like, I should have said this earlier, but I thought it was really cool how the community fought back against Jagex on this whole partnership thing. Jagex just shut the whole thing down. If you look at like any other online game, they have microtransactions, whether you pay monthly, whether you buy the game outright and then you don't pay monthly, they have microtransactions.
Well, buying the game is not considered a microtransaction.
No, but like an example, Guild Wars, right? You buy the game, let's say $30, Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
And there's the microtransaction store as well.
Yeah.
Right? You look at Elder Scrolls Online, you buy the game outright, $20. Then they also have a subscription.
Yeah.
And they have a microtransaction store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Albion, actually it's free now, never mind. But Albion, you did pay money for it. The fact that RuneScape doesn't, or Old School RuneScape doesn't have it yet is awesome. And it's great that the community will be like, no, let's shut this shit down, even though every other game has it.
Yeah.
The community can do some great things sometimes. Sometimes. And our last email is from Aaron. He says, hey guys, love the podcast. Question, are you guys brothers? And what province do you live in Canada? Yes, we're brothers. Ontario is where we're from.
Yeah, the whale.
Yeah. And then what's your mother's maiden name? It's RuneScape.
Yeah.
Worked out funny that way.
RuneScape sucks.
Yeah. 102. Anyways, about RuneScape partnerships, I think you guys are correct in asserting that cosmetic additions to Old School RuneScape will never work out, and here is why. Because they negatively affect the core gameplay loop of Old School RuneScape. Everything we do in Old School RuneScape as a player is fundamentally an investment of time to achieve goals. These goals are often reflected in wearable cosmetic items. Cosmetic items are a way to show other players our achievements, the greatest example perhaps being the Inferno Cape or the Max Cape, which is true. You see someone with them and you usually go like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like a guy gets the Max Cape and like, oh shit, I gotta shut him out, right? That doesn't happen too often. Fun fact, there's like 7,000 people who have Max Cape in RuneScape.
Mm-hmm.
When I started playing Old School RuneScape as a kid, all I wanted was to have a better tier armor than my friends who had Mithril, or eventually get a skill cape emote. Those seemed epic to me. To earn any cosmetic items, especially a desirable one, through any other means than an investment of time of our skills, defeats the core gameplay loop of Old School RuneScape and will erode the very foundation of the game. Why pay if someone else can pay? Why play it if someone else can pay? In contrast, these sorts of cosmetic-based microtransactions do not negatively affect games where the core gameplay loop is different than earning gear and showing it off. In a competitive shooter like Overwatch and Counter-Strike Go, the core gameplay loop isn't showing off gear you've earned, but rather being more skillful than your competitor and being the best. It would completely destroy the foundation of Overwatch if you could pay to boost your competition SR rank. You know what SR means?
It's your season rank.
Season
like
rank.
Competitive. Okay. It's like ELO.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. But it means nothing to spend money on a loot box skins, as skins are not a reflection of skill. They are earned randomly. Another example, imagine if you could buy shinies in Pokemon. Yeah, that's true. Pokemons are always just like, the shinies were just like purely RNG. It's like getting a pet in
It's
RuneScape.
it's super hard to stumble, like not hard, but extremely rare to stumble upon it, and then you have to catch it.
Yeah.
And that's the achievement, right?
Yeah, true. Now that we have established why partnerships that offer cosmetics would erode the very base appeal of the game and as a result will not work, what kind of partnerships would be appropriate? That's the big question, right?
Yep.
And none of us can figure that one out. The only partnerships that would work for old school RuneScape are those that offer free or discounted memberships in return for signing up for a different service or purchasing a different product, which is true. We never had problems with Twitch when you could just get the free 14 days, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
What old school RuneScape would reach new audiences for exposure while offering potential new players a chance to experience the full game. Again, the Twitch example. As an example, you walk into a store and you go to buy Doritos. On the bag is the Vorkath. If you purchase the Doritos, you would get 1 free week of in-game membership. Yeah, with Dorito bags I'd be purchasing. Shit. For current old school RuneScape players, this is a benefit by getting a tasty gamer snack as well as more time in the game they enjoy. For old school RuneScape, it is a huge benefit having the game reach everyone that buys a bag of Doritos, and for the Doritos company to see it as an increase in profit from higher Doritos sales. Besides, and actually, you do see this with like every Avenger movies and stuff, right?
Halo.
Yeah, oh yeah, true.
When was it Halo 4, I think, came out? It was Doritos and Mountain Dew, and I used to like be really into Halo. I remember like buying a bag because you got like double experience, and me and my boys would jump in, do some Team Slayer,
Yeah.
smash some noobs, get mad experience.
So for current old school RuneScape players, this is a benefit by getting a tasty gamer snack. Hell yeah, it is, as well as more time in the game for you to enjoy. For old school RuneScape, it is a huge benefit having the game reach everyone that buys a bag of Doritos, and for the Doritos company to see an increase in profit from higher Doritos sales.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good point. You know, that seems like something that could work.
Yeah. Now imagine like RuneScape 3. You buy a bag of Doritos and then you get a Dorito coin.
Yeah.
And then you can like
Dorito trimmed armor.
Yeah.
Besides, if you're going to buy a bag anyways, you may pick up an extra bag than normal to throw another week on your pure or something. In this example, the week of free membership would only be redeemable once per account per promotion, but that's not the main point. The main point is that old school RuneScape cannot offer in-game items as partnership rewards without devaluing the core game itself. Offering more membership is the safest way to maintain the integrity of the game while allowing old school RuneScape to be more appealing enough to actually land partnerships with other companies, therefore getting more space to promote their game. It seems the main goal of partnerships is promotion as sponsorships. It seems the main goal of partnerships is promotion, since sponsorships only give Jagex more money, which is good, but that doesn't grow the player base. For example, Chill Computers or whatever is paying Jagex to have exposure at their Deadman Mode tournaments, but this doesn't increase the player base. Anyways, those are my thoughts I had while listening to your discussion. I hope this brings up more points to talk about, and I think reaching new players is vital to seeing this game live for more years. It needs to happen, so it's an important conversation to have. Thanks for taking the time to read this. It would be awesome to hear your thoughts on this email on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
you pretty much like hit the nail on the head.
That's a good way of doing it. And I would say like, okay, Jagex might lose a lot of money by doing that sponsorship since you have to like
give up a lot of free potential membership.
Yeah, but I would
even like not even like a week. Like
what about a chance? It's like a 1 in 10 chance you put this code in.
No.
You don't think
that's
so?
That's dicey.
That's loot boxy?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like I think like even like well like not to get hung up on the numbers, but like a day membership, right? Where it's like what do you lose for letting someone run around for the first time if it's a new player in members for a day? What are they gonna lose?
Yeah.
Like, okay, if it's like us, I mean, we could get a bond maybe, and then from there just start like we have free accounts and membership, right?
Fair enough.
But that's like you have to know a lot about the game. But if you're like a new player and you're like, oh, I'll play around for a little bit. Hey, you know what? Like I'll jump in.
Or like I play RuneScape and I also want to get a bag of chips, but I'm suddenly going to choose Doritos now over Ruffles. Because, hey, maybe I'll play a day on membership, see what the fuss is all about.
Or like if you quit, or like you play like, oh man, I remember like the main thing is like if you have like a product like that, it stays around a lot longer, which is good, right? Like,
Yeah.
think of like a 7-Eleven or like a corner store that like gets a shipment of Doritos that like takes a month for it to be put into the store and then just sits there.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're on a road trip and you see Doritos and you're like, I remember RuneScape. That's kind of cool. They're on Doritos. And then like you just care, but now it's in your head. It's like Inception. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like if you're gonna like buy a bag of Doritos for a day, like one, it's good to get people to like get like who don't have membership to buy it. But the main thing is like having it like just there subconsciously.
Yeah, that's what Doritos wants.
Yeah.
They want you to go to the store and instantly go to the Doritos, right?
Yeah, but even then, like, if you're a Chad, and you get back from, like, basketball, and you're like, I need a carbo load for lacrosse, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who cares? And then they buy it, and they're like, dude, I used to do Barbarian Assault all the time, and PK, and buy girlfriends on this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it gets the game like out there, and it's like, oh, like old school's still a thing. You know what I mean? Or it's a thing. What the hell?
So for like for us, that's simple. Like, okay, we go to the store for a snack. We'll get the Doritos this time because they're also getting the free thing. But now we have to think from the person who doesn't play old school RuneScape. You know, what products would they pick up and be like, huh?
Yeah.
I might try this game out for Android now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put this thing in, start off with like 2 days membership.
But even then, can't you get like a free week through mobile?
Yeah, I think once you beat a quest.
Yeah. So then you're messing around, you have a day, like, oh, I can get more free membership if I just do, you know what I mean? It gives you time to get put in the loop, but also would Doritos want to partner up with RuneScape?
That's the thing. So like
maybe just in the UK, maybe they're a UK company. I'm just Doritos is just in my mind.
Or maybe Doritos isn't a UK company and they want their reach in the UK to be bigger, right?
Well, like they're gonna have like a UK section. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a team. But like, yeah, if they want like,
they'll have the numbers to know where they're lacking, right?
Yeah. Because it wouldn't be like a global thing where like advertisements like Doritos now supports RuneScape and it's like a Super Bowl or something. It would be maybe we have a partnership with Doritos right now. We're just talking about it. We're sponsored. Yeah. See ya, Audible. Hello, Doritos.
Yeah. Need that Doritos money.
Yeah.
Just kind of hungry right now. Feeling some Doritos?
I don't have anything crunchy, but soggy, nice soggy Doritos. We dip them in water in Canada.
It always reminds.
Fun fact: Canadians dip Doritos in water.
It's like cereal.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Nathan Free episode where the guy goes on a date, but the date's sponsored by Quiznos, but only the guy knows about it. So he's like has an earpiece in, and then randomly throughout the date, there's like the marketing ladies telling him things to say. So it's like, take a bite from your sub and go, tasty Quiznos sub. So he just like says, and the girl's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's wrong with him? But yeah, I could see something like that working with maybe just different products. Obviously not just Doritos, but like energy drinks.
They'd have
Monster.
They'd have to go with like a membership.
But membership seems pretty fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's a good idea. I never really thought the membership route, which is like the obvious one because it worked for Twitch and nobody batted an eye.
Yeah.
Jagex fucked up by going with cosmetics first.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys for those emails. That was we appreciate it. It adds a fun little part to the podcast.
Yeah, variety.
It's one of my favorite parts of it. But now we get to go to the part where we're kind of getting ready to sign off. So if you want to send us an email, you can do that at the Wilderness Podcast at gmail.com. Our Twitter is at the Wilderness RS. Our Facebook is facebook.com/the Wilderness Podcast. I'm in a bunch of meme groups for RuneScape on Facebook, so now I'm sharing them all the time on on the group. So go ahead and join if you want to see some spicy RuneScape memes. They're everywhere, apparently. There's some really good ones, actually. So then other people have jumped in on there as well. And you can also hang out with us in-game at Wild CC. Deegan, you got some stuff, right?
Twitter, DeeganRS. Twitch is non-existent, but DeeganRS as well.
Yeah, cool. I'm trying to get a stream schedule going, especially for that Iron Man. In the future, I'm wanting to nail down like from 7 till 9 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Don't really know though, but it's the Dilz. You can keep an eye out for when I go live. I post in the Discord and the clan chat, sort of. But yeah, check it out if you're interested. But with that being said, maybe we should get on out of here, and we'll put on for the song of the week will be Last Man Standing. Oh, that's a 6-minute song. Jeez. It was made by Adam Bond, the creator of Bonds. And originally it was unlocked in the Last Man Standing minigame, but due to a lack of players participating, it was decided to add it to the unlock. It was decided to add an unlock location for this track into the lobby as well. So, yeah, interesting. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening to 139. Next week, 140. And I should have said earlier, but we'll be going through the surveys to see who wins the last reward for the skill competition.
Yep.
Should have said that earlier, but didn't. But there it is now. So, yeah, that's next week. Make sure you go and vote. Discord, Twitter, Facebook. It's on there somewhere.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.